This is the episode where, like...
So we're going to fuck around and find out.
Are we recording? See, producer. Oh. This always happens. Are you okay?
Good. No, he just straight died.
What happened?
If you're an ATF and you're watching this, tell your wife's boyfriend that I said hi.
So what do we do with our hands?
What do I do with my hands? You just touch your face. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of the Zulu 24 podcast. And as always, our podcast is sponsored by Antec Airsoft Studios. He's good with guns, bad with table saws. Whether you're trying to just make your gun look nice and pretty or make it shoot to the moon and back, head on over to Antec Airsoft Studios if you want to reach out to them online at AntecAirsoftStudios.com. And also the snack bar. They serve hot food, cold food, red food, blue food, me food, and you food. And also Zulu Outdoor. It's an outdoor store, but it's indoors. So it's an indoor-outdoor store located right here on Zulu 24. If you want to reach out to them, you can give them a call at 845-684-3139. Whether you just need that last-minute item or you need to pick up an entire kit, they've got what you need. Head on over to ZuluOutdoor.com. Also, don't forget, you can listen or watch this podcast on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Amazon, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify with video, and Google. Remember, always like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Go ahead and push those videos out there. Give it to your grandmother for next birthday. I'm sure she'll love it. All right. What's going on, guys and gals, boys and girls, tigers, lions, lemurs, and caterpillars? It's time again for another edition of the Zulu 24 podcast. We have no special guests on today. I take that back. We have two special guests on today. We've got Joseph Jojo, Saint Jojo, Josue, Jojo the man, Jojo the fucking flight attendant.
Sure, absolutely. Guys, welcome to Zulu 24.
That's not what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to say, thank you for being here.
Thank you for choosing us for your airsoft experience.
There he is.
Zulu 24, we are officially open for the evening.
There you go. Now you know who Jojo is. Also, we have the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who never has a beard because his last name is Shave.
No, it's a Chave.
Oh, sorry, Chave. If you've ever been in CQB and been popped in the face by a 5.0, it's because this guy spends way too much money on his gas-powered sniper rifles.
It's air. Yeah, it's an HPA system.
I stand corrected. Thanks. This is my show. Austin Shave. Guys.
Howdy.
Glad to finally have you on the podcast. If we had a studio audience, they'd all be clapping. Oh, wait. We also have Antec Airsoft Studios. Anthony in the house. Anthony, say hi.
Yeah.
He's got his... It feels tough, so he's got to do it all softcore like that.
I like it.
But if we had an in studio audience, they'd be clapping right now.
Sure.
Or if we had some push buttons.
So there's 9 buttons, and I don't remember which one it is.
Just hit a random one.
7.
Just hit a. Yay!
Oh, that was money.
There it is.
That was perfect.
Was it 7?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, lucky number 11.
I love it.
So on today's podcast, we're just basically going to go through this year. This year, it's the end of the year. It's November as of filming here, and we're just going to go through the entire year and what was good, what was bad, any personal experiences that we have, and then we're going to talk shit a bunch. This is kind of free form. This one's kind of free form.
Yeah, I feel like we've critiqued other things and events and products throughout the year, and this is a good time for self-reflection, I think.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
To critique ourselves.
And you can't get better unless you take an objective look at yourself and say, hey, what are we doing good? What are we doing bad? What worked? What didn't? And this is a perfect time to do it. And also, you two, Austin, you're a player. Jojo, you're a longtime staff, favored member of staff. But don't tell the other staff members I said that.
Maybe. Sure.
Player's choice.
Player's choice. Sure.
Staff
player's
member.
Choice, yeah.
Is Jojo
I
laughing?
appreciate you guys. I do.
I can vouch.
Yeah, there you go. So let's start off January 2023.
Is that when Attrition was?
Oh, no. Yeah. Let's backtrack. 2022, Gun Gamers Attrition. Did you guys play that?
Oh, man.
I was not here for that.
Yes.
I was here the next day.
I really liked that event. it was so cold in the morning when they were chronoing. We were just talking to Eric today, who's in the shop, and he has a better recollection of like the weather that day than I did. I thought it was 0. Apparently, it was negative 20 in the morning when they were chronoing. It was
freezing that day.
It was like 0 degrees throughout the day. Yeah. Everybody's guns were just failing. My guns were failing. I learned that gate titans are particularly sensitive in that cold.
Sure.
They have to be spotless. Otherwise, any amount of grease or anything that condensation will fuck up your sensors. You're not shooting semi anymore. I had issues with my buckings freezing. My Kythera was running well. The engine ran well, but the bucking froze. Towards the end of that game, I was holed up in Fuel Depot during the night portion. Eric Vandervars, who's next to me, dead. I was using his gun as he was dead to sustain myself, keep myself alive. And then when I ran out of all of his mags, I went to my trusty revolver, and I'm like picking up already glowing tracer BBs off the floor.
Sure.
Were you eating them?
No.
So from a tech perspective, when it's that cold outside, which system's better to use? So
Eric today said it, and I agree with him completely. Like, the more basic your electronics are, the better your gun is going to run in the cold. So electronically speaking, honestly, if you have standard contacts with no MOSFET, that might be your best bet.
Wow.
But even if it's a basic MOSFET, and you're still retaining your mechanical trigger contacts, should be fine. But optical sensors are particularly finicky, especially like a Gate Titan. I'm a Gate Titan fanboy. I love Titans. I've been using them for years. But they're more vulnerable in the wet and in the cold and in the dirty compared to like the Leviathans, because they detect the teeth on the sector gear, the teeth that engage the piston. So if those sensors are dirty at all, it's not counting the teeth the same way. And what it does is it counts how many teeth that the sector gear should have, typically like 15 or whatever. If you short stroke, it might be different. And then it uses that to tell the computer, okay, we counted that many teeth, stop, that was one shot. But if it's not counting those teeth right, it's not going to stop. So your semi-auto is now not semi-auto. You're on burst, you're whatever. You're going to get diagnostic beep saying it doesn't detect sector gear. So that happened to a lot of people with Titans. Alex's Titan was fine. Eric's Titan was fine. So that was that with electronics. Gas guns, obviously, really cold.
Yeah.
Even map gas gun users were probably having a hard time. Sure. HPA users may have been all right. But buckings, like rubber parts, like they just got so stiff, they were just jamming, And
so it's a good way to find out, right? So
you fuck around.
That's correct. I wanted to say that without dropping the bomb, but I was going to say,
all right.
you mess around, you're going to find out, right?
This is the episode where like
we'll beep it out.
Yeah, we don't care.
So we're going to fuck around and find out.
There it
okay?
is.
Yeah, I'm not
That's why I'm so excited for Gun Gamer's next game coming up soon this winter.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to bust out all my guns again, and I'm going to just, like, it's round 2 versus the cold.
Here's the thing with the Gun Gamers event in February. It was stupid cold, but we all knew the forecast because we actually had a really warm winter.
We did, yeah.
But the forecast was like, in February, 65, 65. Oh, that weekend, -3. Like, so we all saw it coming. I actually bought a cord of firewood specifically for that weekend, and we burned an entire cord of firewood that weekend. So with all that being said, the Zulu staff that played, and I'll let you get into that.
Yeah.
They all came up to me and were like, this is the best game we've played up to this point. And I was like, shit, really? Like, even with the weather concerns, there was a night portion, and there was like, even though the game was called Attrition, there wasn't that much attrition in terms of player loss. Like when the night game happened, like I hate to sound like I'm sucking dick here, but I really like when I see producers. I really like when I see producers step outside the comfort zone,
100%.
and put something together. And because they're very well versed as players with the logistical side of Airsoft, which can sometimes be a hindrance, all that stuff was smooth. And so the player base was very easily, like, they knew what they were getting into. Like, they were like, hey, we're going to use fucking tape because we want you to dress warm. And the player's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just going to be like, oh, for green versus tan, you better find a green goddamn jacket to -3. No, man, they were just like, fuck it, man. Like,
reasonable.
Like, yeah, they were reasonable. Right. And literally Zulu staff, when they got off, which is very fucking rare, Zulu staff got them, like, that's one of the best events we've been to thus far.
You heard that from everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, like,
I don't think I've ever heard of an op where everyone's coming off the field, staff, players, everyone.
Yeah.
You heard about that for weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they did a fantastic job. And I think, and they said it from the beginning, and I was like, well, okay. Like when they first came to me, they were like, what's the, basically, I can't remember the exact terminology, but this is how I took it. What's your shittiest month? Shittiest month? How? What's your shittiest weather month? February, by far. I'd be closed in February if players didn't show up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, February. They're like, cool, that's the only one. I'm like, are you sure? Like, is that, are you trying to like spread your brand? Like, and they fucking knocked it out of the park. They had 100 players.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you on Sunday morning, they still had 87 players. You know what I mean? Like their attrition rate was very, very small. And if it was attrition rate, it was because the players' guns broke. It wasn't because they were dissatisfied with the game or anything.
Wait, I thought attrition was a 1-day game.
It was this Saturday, yeah.
It was just a Saturday?
Yeah, it was just
The next
Saturday.
day, Sunday was open play, and it was a beautiful day.
A lot of the players.
It was
that,
like-
Oh, yeah?
It was like 52 degrees, yeah.
yeah, a lot of the
man.
players that played attrition stayed and
Okay.
played open play on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
okay.
attrition
So that-
was just a 12-hour starts at like 10.
That's
ends at
right.
10.
That's how
That's
I heard
right.
about it, because everyone was ranting and raving about it. the
Yeah,
next
the
day.
next-
You know, that's right,
day,
because
right.
we talked a lot about the podcast the night before about they're doing 12-hour, and I was like, oh, we should do a 24-hour type thing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. So did you play?
So, right, like full disclaimer, I didn't play. And the reason why, and right, I'm just gonna let all the cats out of the hat. So any Airsoft produced game that's played at Zulu 24, I prefer to play the Zulu events. Just because one, staff member, two, I'm familiar with the field, three, the direction given, by following the rule, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna run. So anything produced by any other producer out there, I'm just kind of like, I'm just going to sit on the outside and watch. Also, full disclaimer, me and my wife own the snack bar, and then with a couple of our partners, we're calling him Mika or Jamie or
You can call them whatever you want.
business partner
I like
Jordan,
Jamie.
and my wife Barbara.
Micah, you were about to call it. You doing Garand up there?
Mika, Jamie. Where do we go?
Also, Garantham, please come on this
Yeah,
podcast.
please,
Oh,
we'd
dope.
love to have you.
Garantham, please come.
100%.
Yeah.
Garage Tom,
yeah.
please come on this podcast.
Mika, all you guys.
Grantham.
I want the broken rake on here.
Oh my God.
We
Yeah.
want to handle
Oh,
it. If
wait,
we
no,
could.
that's not Micah. That's
Fuck.
oh shit, we're about to lose it right now.
We love you anyway.
We're about
Charlie.
to, Charlie,
Charlie.
we didn't forget you, Charlie.
I'm the real Garantham fan here, and I can't give you that gun I want to build you until like you come on the podcast. It sucks.
Yeah,
but-
okay, because he's watching.
So I didn't get to play. But being inside the shop, right? Even those guys that played and again ran into those issues with their replicas, with whatever they were playing with that day, they came inside and were like, "Can I rent?"
Oh, that's right.
And we're like, "Yeah, what happened?" And of course, people had their issues and they continued to play and played with the rentals. And I mean,
Dude, I remember that.
It kind of speaks to the volume of how good the game must have been.
We
Like,
ripped
yeah.
the orange tip off of a combat machine rental
Yes.
so a dude could put a tracer,
tracer
unit and a
unit.
thermal on it
100%.
in the shop at like
100%.
4 o'clock so he could play the night
So
portion.
again, no dick sucking to gun gamers, but
Yeah.
but they ran a good game. And again, our guys when they walked off the field, I was like, "So guys, like what's it like?" And it made me jelly when I was like, "Shit, I should have brought my gear."
That says a lot when a
Yeah.
player.
Yeah,
I mean, because we all obsess about our own guns, right?
sure.
When a player's gun goes down, but the game is so good that they still want to fucking go
Yeah.
in it, like,
Yeah,
like
100%.
I'll just take a rental. I know it shoots like shit, but it's got hop up and I can shoot a fucking tracer unit.
A
out of it.
BB
Like,
into that direction.
Yeah.
They
Like,
were about it.
fuck it, man. I'm gonna get after it.
They were about it. Yeah.
That actually says a lot.
There's a cause greater than himself. He
Yeah.
must fight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Wait, oh my
I
god!
have to get back on the front line.
Yeah.
Dude, which in airsoft terms is like the same as saying like the revolution again. You know what I mean? Like, like the fact that we won the revolution is fucking mind-boggling if you really think about it, and that's
That was just America telling Britain to get off their lawn.
no, it wasn't. That was America backpedaling and backpedaling and backpedaling because it was basically like Navy SEALs with fucking miniguns against you and I with rocks. And somehow
Yeah.
we fucking pulled it off. And dude, I mean, like there are aliens still scratching their heads like, man, didn't see that. I lost a lot of money on
that
that
was
one.
good. That was solid. That was
I'll
solid.
go into greater detail about that later. But
Yeah.
so Austin, what's your experience with that? Did you have any experience with with that. I don't know.
So I didn't have an experience that day at the op, but I played the next day. Came out. It was we were being told it was negative 20-ish for the op.
Oh,
It was about 50 the next day.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Night and day,
So,
right?
Yeah.
So we went through a quart of wood in 24 hours. It wasn't a whole weekend. It was 24 hours.
just that day.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Sunday was beautiful. He had a lot of the players from the op. That's how I heard about it. Literally everyone was like, "Hey, this was a great op. Tell me all about it." It's kind of sad I missed out, but
Yeah, like there's been winters where we've been open because there's just enough players,
Sure.
Yeah.
and it's like it's eerie, it's quiet, and there's no vegetation, so people are just like walking slowly and quietly looking for somebody. But then this was like a packed winter game, and what I love about it is that Gun Gamers is really good at bullying their grassroots following because they're just like, yeah, it's cold. Don't be a bitch. Don't be like fucking. Let's do it. Let's get it. Like this is fun. This is fucking
after
hard.
right.
It's a very Milsom West approach. Like
Which we appreciate.
well, it's almost like when you sign up, it's like you're not good enough for this. You shouldn't sign up. You're like, bitch.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
I'll
okay.
prove to you.
Okay.
I'll prove to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to use a
Okay.
rental. I'm renting. Let's go.
Yeah. You want to see hardcore? I'm gonna take a rental out there with a
Yeah.
thermal and a fucking tracer unit,
Oh, yeah, shut up.
bitch.
Yeah. Gun game.
Hey, Jamie, did you get a picture of that rental with the thermal on it?
Oh, that's a good question. If I did, I'll put it up on screen.
There we go.
And if you didn't, just Photoshop something.
Yeah,
Oh,
just,
that-
yeah.
It could be like a giraffe. With a
Well,
fucking-
that rental still doesn't have an orange tip on it. I could just
Correct.
put my thermal and a tracer
Correct.
unit on it and throw it
That's
on the
right.
screen anyway.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's like stolen valor though.
So that
Stolen
was
airsoft valor.
Stolen valor.
So that was like the beginning. That was like beginning of the year.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's how
kind of.
2022 ended.
What
Yeah.
about the and then the anniversary?
So anniversary. Oh my god.
Well, that was
so
before.
That was busy.
The
so
pizza.
look. So previous anniversaries, right? We do well.
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, what I mean by do well is we get a bunch of people out, right? There's a huge discount for everybody. Veterans get them for free. We give pizza and like huge raffles, right? It's Zulu's day to say, hey, thank you for a good year. This is our treat to you. You know what I mean?
Thank you for choosing us for your airsoft experience.
There it is, right?
Jojo.
So it's a day where, generally speaking, it's not a net loss for Zulu because it can't be because Zulu's a business, right? But it's usually like, like we do all right.
Just a day to give back.
Yeah, it really, and you know why? Is because in the past we used to do customer appreciation days for other companies and stores and stuff like
Right.
that. And there was a particular store which I won't mention.
We're not. Thank you.
No, I won't mention it. And they were like, hey, we want to do a customer appreciation day. Cool. Yeah, more than what? Here's our price, like whatever. And he was like, okay, we're going to give you 10% less than what you asked for, but we're going to charge the customer 50% more than you usually do. And I'm like, so where's the appreciation? It's not an appreciation. It's you trying to make money off of this headline.
Right.
And then what sent it over the edge for me was the piece de resistance where I was just like, you don't give a fuck about the customers. You're just using this to make money,
Yeah,
right?
it's disingenuous.
Some people are just businessmen, and unfortunately in the airsoft community this is rampant. But I understand why, right? And I'll go into that later. But so they charged like $45 a person.
Sure.
For a regular, because we ran everything, right? So it was basically a regular open day play of airsoft for $45. Dude, the and you're like, okay, that's fine if the raffle prizes are like a fucking minigun.
I mean,
Right.
correct.
A 240.
minigun, Yeah. RPG. Something.
yeah, like something crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, the raffle prizes were so bad that everybody that won a raffle prize came up to us because thank God they understood that this company and Zulu 24 were different entities.
Mm-hmm.
They came up to us and they're like, here, just use this as a prop. I'm not kidding. They were full plastic Springer M4. Like, okay, dude, if you went to Dick's Sporting Goods right now
I remember. Yeah, we still
and
have
you
those.
and you paid $50, it would come with an M4 and a 1911 Springers, and you could get the whole thing for $50. That was the raffle
Yeah.
price. And I'm talking about, this is a store.
Yikes.
This is a very popular store. Very popular. In a state that sounds like Schmoosh
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it's a store that like had a billboard at one time. I don't know if they have a billboard now. And it was like, come on, man.
Do better.
If you can afford that billboard, which I know isn't that bad actually, you could have taken that revenue, that $300 a month or whatever it is,
Easy.
and done way better. Not to mention that all that shit that they raffled off, they get at cost wholesale, which I can't imagine is more than $10 for what they're raffling off. And I was like,
Hold on, I'll look.
well, I remember talking to Mario and being like, hey man, that's the last time I can't do that. Like, dude, I mean, just for bingo, when we did Airsoft bingo,
Which we should do again.
Yeah, it was
sure, absolutely.
Easy.
Yeah.
I spent well over $1,000.
Oh yeah, it was $1,400.
$1,400
For
on-
people to win within the first half hour.
Oh no, they were so
Yeah.
good.
The first
God damn it,
game,
dude.
people won. And
Oh,
like,
they were.
wow.
I got so many zip ties.
Dude, they
one
were
of the bingo
so
boxes was to give the tech a zip tie, and somebody just gave me a whole fucking pack. I still have zip ties. From
Dude, I should be like Bingo Square. Fucking give Zulu 0.25s for Chrono.
Oh,
But,
that'd be good.
But I was just like, oh man, like it just sucks so bad. I don't know why we got on that tangent. How did we get on the tangent?
Because
we were
Oh,
talking
we were
about
talking about
anniversary.
Yeah,
talking
our
about anniversary. So
yeah.
So anniversary was great, man. So in the past, you know, we would get like 150, 200 people. You know, we get a bunch of pizzas, and you'd see 50 pizzas just vanish fucking instantly. I don't know what it was about this year, but we had very close to 500
Easy.
people this year.
Marketing.
Yeah. The bottom of the parking lot was packed.
Yeah, you needed more parking.
People
Which is
camped
That's a great
out.
problem to have.
we had more people than AMS all 3 years
Yeah.
for just an anniversary, man. And we had great raffle prizes. We had to order an extra 10 pizzas. We had 60 pizzas that vanished
Easy.
instantaneously. I felt so bad for everybody coming out. Also, thank you everybody for coming out. It's fucking
Facts.
amazing.
Thank you. 100%.
We had so many people that the line went from registration to the front of the shop.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, these people came here to play. Like, fuck, man. So I was like taking the Mil X smoke grenades, which are now ATF. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Now ATF.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, there's
Oh my
something else
God.
going on there.
Oh yeah, dude. I was just like walking up and down the line, just throwing it over my shoulder, making people do push-ups and stuff.
Yeah. Own it.
It's fucking awesome.
Get it,
man.
yeah.
I think the first safety brief, I felt so bad because all these people waiting in line to register, and it's like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, if we wait, we're not going to play the first game till fucking noon. Like, these people came to play.
Right.
Like, that's what they came for. So I was like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, we got to do the safety brief just because we got to get shit going. Like, fuck, man. I think our first game went out at 11. I felt so bad, dude. But everybody took it in stride.
Yeah.
And it was fucking amazing, dude. I can't believe we have the support that we do. And I appreciate everything. I don't even know how the games went that day. Like,
They were wild.
They went, yeah.
Big-
They were good. They were
500
good.
players. That's
well, I heard somebody say that like a front line would be established, and then
Yes.
that
That
was
was
like
it.
Yes.
that was it.
You had
All
some
day.
movement on the edges, but yeah.
Yeah, like that was
Yeah.
like like World War I style.
Mhm.
I mean, I've always said like the max for Zulu, like 400 players for like an event with good coordination can be done. Because we had a blood diamond that was like over 400 people.
Yeah, we did.
And it wasn't that bad. But man, when you start approaching 500, I mean, when you have like 2 players per every 10 feet of ground, like
Yeah.
there's not much you can do, man. It's just, it is what it is. But I thank everybody that came out, and it actually ran really smoothly.
It did.
And those pizzas fucking evaporated in front of us. Raffle prizes were good. Actually, Eric was there for that too. Eric from
Yeah,
Gamers
because we
After.
did the first podcast the night before that.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Yes. Should we talk about the first podcast?
Rules.
yes, yes. We should talk about the first podcast.
Rules were made.
So what do you think about okay, so I was actually listening to the first podcast, which was done literally the night before our
Our anniversary.
anniversary. I was actually listening to it on the drive over here, and I was like, "Oh, it's not that bad."
Keep in mind, though, so the first podcast is 2 hours long.
Well,
The first podcast was 4.5 hours long.
oh yeah, we sat here and talked for almost 5 hours.
I
The
cut
whole
a lot of
introduction.
that.
A lot of stuff needed to be cut out because a rule was established after that there
Yeah.
shall be no alcohol in the podcast studio. And I mean, gun gamers are super cool about it. They're like, I mean, this isn't totally off brand for us because if you watch any of their videos, like he'll typically have like
Well, they talked about that. They've done some videos where they're absolutely smashed.
yeah, and
There was stuff they said that we had to remove.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was stuff that everyone said that.
Oh yeah, oh man,
No.
it was rough,
Right?
dude.
Boys
Like,
will be boys, right? So
yeah,
Sure.
but I in my head, I never listened to it because I was so embarrassed by it, right? And it's really bad when people come up to you and they're like, "Hey, man, like do better."
like,
and you're like, "Motherfucker, you're right." God damn it. Like when you really have to do an introspective and you're just like, "You're right, man. Like you're fucking right." It's a hard pill to swallow. And after that, when the right people come up to you and they're like, "Hey, man, like fucking," I was kind of pissed off. Kind of like I don't want to do that. And I was like, "Man, fuck, man, I got no legs to stand on."
sure, yeah.
Like you're right.
You get
you're,
better.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right, and we should do better, and that's just the way it goes. So
That's it.
and so it's a hard pill to swallow. So I never listened to it because I was just like too embarrassed because that's not how I wanted this whole thing to be. And then like literally the first time actually listened to it was on the way over here, and I was like, okay, it's not terrible.
Jordan did a really good job editing.
Yes,
it.
he did.
I come, yeah.
Saved
No, yes, he did. And
We can still run for public office, maybe.
Well, I can't. Jordan knows why. But
Oh God.
but I like fast forward through, and you can definitely tell.
Yeah.
Me personally, as it goes on. I mean, you're talking about 5 hours. Like there's a
Yeah,
lot
for
of
sure,
time, a
for
lot
sure,
of coffee breaks. You know what I
100%,
mean?
Yeah,
And,
coffee breaks.
I could,
Yeah.
dude, I can tell like I'm slowing down. Like, what's your first airsoft experience? Like it's fucking.
That sounded fantastic.
No, dude, it's just fucking
Just
bad,
peaked.
man.
We were
Every
like
mic.
moving coffee under the table while
Oh.
we were recording it.
Dude, I was holding my piss like the whole time.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
coffee.
dude. So we learned a lot of lessons from that, and I think we've done pretty well. I think we've done pretty well.
It was
So-
a really entertaining podcast to record and watch, but we won, but at what cost?
Anthony, did you?
It's
listen to
also-
it back?
you-
Like, did you listen
Hard,
back to
like
it?
I listened back. I listened to it when it first came out, and I was just making sure Jordan like got rid of it.
It's tough.
Sober Anthony wanted to change.
Well, no. Anthony did good.
Oh.
Anthony did good. It was me and Edgar.
the Marines.
okay, so-
the two Marines. were
Turns
like-
out that
I
the
heard
two
Edgar
Marines.
And
So-
pounded back.
Oh,
I was in between both of
I heard
them.
he ended the podcast.
Yeah.
He did, but like real talk, towards the end of the podcast, you start to notice when I muted Edgar.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets pretty rough. So Anthony did pretty good, but the rest of us didn't. Well, the rest of us,
Good
me
job,
and Edgar,
Anthony.
Yeah,
me and
because
Edgar didn't do so well.
Contrary to popular belief, I'm not an alcoholic. I
No,
hardly
no.
ever drink.
I just heard somebody today say that you are, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Listen, when it takes a quarter of a drink to get you crazy,
So I
hard to be
wonder.
an alcoholic.
Let's open this can of worms, right? Because maybe I'm not the only one, and maybe you're not the only one, right? When your wife, fiance, significant other tells you like, "Hey, you have a drinking problem," because every time you're with the boys, you have a drink. Well, it's like,
Oh.
who else am I supposed to have a drink with?
Oh, I'm an alcoholic.
Alone by yourself.
Yeah,
but that's the worst way to
that's
drink.
healthy.
Immediately
Is
when
it?
you come
Yeah.
home from work.
Yeah, no.
When you get home from work, immediately just crack it open, start drinking it in front of the kids.
Yeah, but
Is that
Start venting. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
no, but I mean, think about this, dude. I mean, dude. Okay, not my generation before, and actually, technically, a generation before that. So World War II guys, right? They'd come home, they'd have a little fucking Manhattan or whatever the fuck.
right?
shots, mate.
Yeah.
Come on.
Shots fired.
Well,
No,
If you're gonna-
no, but
if you're gonna fire
it was
shots,
a
just-
thing. It
I
was
didn't know
a
you
thing.
served, Austin.
Or 7, and they went to bed, right? Like that's
Sure.
just the way it was. I mean, drinking has been a part of male culture in the United States for forever.
Prohibition.
I think we've done very, very well. Okay, sorry, Jojo and I are part of a different generation as you two. I think we've done very well to mitigate that. I just want to say that for the first podcast, though, we were so excited because we're getting it going.
Yeah.
We're like, like you're hanging out with your friends, you're just gonna have a conversation, and it just goes too far.
Yep, good time. Yeah,
That's just what it is. But
Got a little slumped. It happened.
yeah, but it actually, I mean, thank God for Jordan, right? Because it actually came out pretty well, like the best it could have been.
That took a week and a half to edit.
Oh, dude, I don't know how you got a start, middle, and finish. To be honest with you, like
That was good.
Like it was almost like you had to transplant the beginning to the end just to make sure that it wasn't like the magic you pulled off there was fucking phenomenal. And
I appreciate that.
And I appreciate you doing that. And I also appreciate the conversation we had. Like it needed to be it needed to happen. You know what I mean?
I wonder if you look back at it, if there's any Chinese talking.
Yeah, dude.
I was wondering what was going on there.
The best part is
just
the best part is the 1.5 persons that actually listens to this will have no idea what just happened.
What?
So what had happened was he had lip synced a bunch of different words, but only said those words.
Perfect.
Yeah. So good.
Airsoft.
The side profile, that was very interesting.
But it was a good podcast. It turned out well.
It was fun.
So anyway, the
Anniversary.
went well. So I guess the reason why we went into that is because we were all hung the fuck over for the anniversary, not really expecting.
I wasn't
That
hungover.
Okay,
Good job, Anthony.
Anthony the alcoholic
Good job.
wasn't
Thank you,
hungover.
Anthony.
Well, I certainly was, and I was like powering through, man. Holy dog shit! Like just the pain alone was enough to make me never want to do that fucking again, man. And it was a great day, man. It freaking turned out great. So that was January, and then we did AMS in May.
Yeah.
Well, did we have an event between then? No, because
No.
Crossroads was summertime.
That was the first AMS
Hold on.
that they
hold on.
did where it wasn't pouring raining. I think.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
lord, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything
First
in April.
decent AMS. Well, again, all the AMS events I could say I believe went fairly well, but one without
Yeah.
chaos.
Well,
and
we just had
and
a
the
bunch of
last-
fires.
The last.
Oh, that was right.
correct.
Yeah.
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 Thank you, Enola Gay.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was the their flashbangs.
Yeah, the EG flashbangs. 'Cause
So-
there was that dude in the parking lot selling them.
So this dude in the parking lot selling these, right? Whatever, right? I mean, looking back on it, I'm like, hey, you're using my property to like
Capitalize,
money. Like,
yeah.
come on, man.
Correct.
He was also
Capitalizing,
selling
sure.
them for dirt cheap.
Yeah. So, but they made a specific boom.
Sure.
It got to the point where Jordan and I were at the snack bar, and we heard the boom go off. We started running before they called ceasefire for the fire.
Because you could hear it.
Yeah, we knew. We were
you
like,
know.
all right, here we go. There's another fire. And then we were just like, hey, tell them to stop using those. Like, it's early in the year. I don't want to burn my field down.
Yeah,
to
it
fucking-
started a
Right.
fire, guys.
It started more than one.
Oh,
We had
literally-
Once you
so
get
many.
to 3 or 4, just
I was standing there putting a fire out. Another one landed next to me, went off, and I was like, cool, there's another fire
Yeah.
now. But that was the same one with, Milson Peanut. The fire.
Shout out
Yeah.
to our boy Milson Peanut.
He fought a fire.
100%.
Milson Peanut
That
is
man
a goat.
fought the fire.
Yeah.
If you want to follow Milson Peanut, at Milson Peanut, Instagram,
Yeah.
I believe.
It's Milson Peanut.
MilsonPeanut.com. That's his home address. You can swat him if you want.
He fought a fire in a
Milson Peanut
firefight.
at
He fought it with his
gmail.com.
fist.
He literally
Vouch.
punched. He's the only person that's ever come to Zulu and punched a wall down and maybe like, good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, seriously, like double good job. Turned off a fire. Also allowed for another entrance
Avenue.
and exit route outside of the
jail.
Out of the jail.
Yeah, that's right.
I was about
For
to say
years.
that.
I didn't fix it. I didn't
Perfect.
fix it on purpose.
Perfect.
It
I
made
didn't
it
fix
way
it.
more fun in there.
When I saw it, I was like, "Ooh, piece of candy. Let's go."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well,
awesome.
I have an interesting clip from like a month after that where I was in the jail in CQB and I heard someone walking on the outside. I'm like, oh, they can't see my back. And it processed. I was like, there's still a hole in the wall. I just turn around on his like shoulders
Yes.
there. He didn't even realize there was a hole in the
Yes.
wall. It was funny instead.
I got schwacked in the jail like a couple weeks ago. This is when you were flying the drone over CQB.
Oh, I have that video.
Yeah, and I have the GoPro footage too. And like I was like looking through the building next to jail. I was like trying to get a good angle on it, and I got schwacked from somebody like in the ridge line. That wasn't even in CQB. He was like far away. And he just had this really good angle on me. And like when you play at the same field so many times, you know where the dangerous
Sure,
spots are.
correct.
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
where
yeah.
you're going to get you. I
Sure,
was
yeah.
not expecting that.
Was it because of the hole in the jail?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like the
It
ridge,
changed the
the tree
dynamic
line
of
in
that.
between CQB and like Helicopter Newtown.
Oh,
that
gotcha.
area.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
right
in
there.
there,
Sure.
and like
Sure.
Just thread one
like
through.
that. It's a pretty steep ridge. That's the last place I was expecting to take fire from. But he was like at the bottom, so far away. Like he fucking schwacked me so hard.
Go follow Wilson Peanut.
Shout out.
Thank you.
Yo, Milson
Thank
Shout out
Peanut's
to
good.
Wilson Peanut.
He's good
Yeah.
people too. He's
Go.
actually good people.
Yeah.
Should hire him to like make more holes in the field. It's
No.
razzle things up a little
Resident
bit.
hole maker.
So right, he even right. Oh God, right. All the stick sucking happening. Well, first was Gun Gamers, now Mr. Peanut. So, sir, even as far as like helping us out on the field, he jumped into the shop at Zulu Outdoors and helping a customer out. And I was like, okay, like I'm not that far with the product knowledge as to one thing. And my man just took this sale and launched it, and I was like, you need a job?
Remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you need a job?
He
Like,
also lives like 4 hours
that's
away.
the problem.
He's
I
like
know.
everybody gets one, and then he walks away into the.
But he's also the funniest human being in this moment because like he runs around. If you've seen his M4, it's like a Polar Star Block 2 grip, flashlight suppressor, nice stock, nice grip, EPM mags, no sights. And I'm like, hey man, like when you're ready, like come to the shop. I got some cool red dots. And he just looks at me while he's playing. He goes, no, I don't need sights, and just starts shooting.
Good for him.
All right, good for you.
Man, that dude. So of all the airsoft YouTubers, right?
Yeah.
And I'll consider him a YouTuber because he has a YouTube channel and stuff. Of all the airsoft YouTubers, dude, this man needs more clout. Like because he's the decent fucking human being amongst all of us,
Right.
who doesn't sit there and put hash marks on people that he clearly didn't hit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like he's the guy. Like
genuine.
He is actually the fucking airsoft player. Who's like, I probably missed him. You know what I mean? Like he's that
Setting a good example. for
fucking
others.
guy
Correct.
who realizes we shoot a projectile less than half of a fucking a quarter of a paperclip for most people.
Sure.
Not for Austin.
Well, that's half a paperclip
gotta
for
compensate.
Austin. You know what I mean? Like he's the one that we should have representing our fucking brand, but instead we have all these other jackasses who are just like, this guy's a cheater. Like, check out and fuck all the people that are just like, cheater video. Yeah, let me watch that.
No,
Fuck you.
no.
You're perpetuating such a minority. Yeah, we're going there, baby.
Right. Do better.
Also,
I'm one of those people.
Also, Nico Ortiz, stop stealing our fucking videos and putting them in your own. Cocksucker.
Well, he's
Do
part of
better,
the problem
YouTubers.
too. Like his content's funny, but his constant
No.
airsoft fights and flip outs videos where he just reacts to airsoft fist
he
fights.
pretends like he's not an airsoft player.
Oh, he totally loves it.
Dude, so here's the problem with, I don't know Nico. Is that his real name?
Yeah, his real name is Nico.
Okay. I don't know Nico as a human being. I know him only as a YouTuber, and I can tell you that his persona on YouTube is annoying. It's like, I'm not funny, so I'm just going to be loud.
Kids love that.
Yes.
Kids.
It gets views.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No,
true.
and I can't fault him for that. So I don't want to judge him as a human being because I don't know him as the actual human being. I know him as the character he plays on
YouTube personality.
on YouTube, right? I don't like it, but also fuck you, man. That's our airsoft mortar. Give us credit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
fucking, you were impressed by that.
I'm gonna
Like-
make that a short.
And the guy using
Yeah.
that mortar in the video.
is actually a ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, oh,
that's
dude.
right.
Okay, so
Sure,
all right,
100%.
so that was
boy.
so we just talked about the anniversary, right?
Well, we talked about the anniversary and AMS we were getting to.
AMS, right?
But
So
after AMS was Crossroads.
AMS was a great game. You know, go do AMS things. Crossroads.
the mortar, the
Well,
helicopter.
Crossroads was different. I added a bunch of new things just to try to test things out. I did dog tags. We did mobile respawns. And actually, shout out to Gun Gamers because, and I told them this when they brought up the idea. I told them, I was like, I'm going to steal this. So, Gun Gamers do a mobile respawn, but they use clay pigeons. And if you shoot at the clay pigeon, the mobile respawn's fucking dead. And I was like, I'm going to steal that from you. And he's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, that was so brilliant. That was awesome.
So I told him straight up, I was like, I'm going to steal that. And he was like, all right, cool. So I did for Crossroads. That worked well. My implementation didn't work well because I used the clay pigeon thrower, and I just screwed it to the top of like a big box. And then I guess the clay pigeon thrower kind of like broke at some point. Sure. So I gotta work on that. But we did dog tags, so you could collect dog tags from downed enemies. We did a drone where you could capture an area and then the drone would give you drone feed. And then we also did the mortar. Obviously, the mortar was like
highlight.
That was a highlight.
cool
That was
effect.
the highlight.
oh
yeah.
man, big
Yeah.
effect, right?
Yeah,
So I actually went to Gunbroker and I bought 3 60mm mortar demilled rounds. And then I spent the next 2 months drilling out the back of these fucking mortars to accept a shotgun blank. And then super glued a
Metal BB.
It's a little, yeah.
yeah,
Brilliant.
like a BB
Brilliant.
to the primer, so that when you dropped it, it made an effect. And I can't tell you how many emails I got from airsoft fields, airsoft producers, like, "Oh, how'd you make this work?" With I'm like, guys,
There's that one charity too.
Just redneck engineering.
that's right. Well, at first,
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
to the super glue. I was like, can we try something? Like, I can think of something. Dave was like, no, this is easy. It's simple.
Yeah.
Let's go to
Yeah,
work.
it's simple.
well,
Yeah.
I mean,
he just had,
It was.
he was just sitting there gluing all of these fucking primers together to get them ready.
It worked.
well, but here's the thing, like originally I was like, well, I'll just make it safe and all this, and it is safe, but I was like, I'll have the round slide down the tube and then hit a switch, an air switch. And the air switch will create the
That'll make
thunk.
that sound, yeah.
Yeah, so it's repeatable, and you just hook up a tank to it. It's basically so that the players can do it and not require too much thought. And so I'm like doing all this stuff. I'm buying all this shit on Amazon, like testing it and everything. And it's just like the thunk that I got was like thunk.
Sure.
It's like nothing.
Yeah.
And I
You
was
want
like,
to
what the-
bang.
So I was like,
The shotgun primers are like
they're not primers, they're
They're
blanks.
blanks.
Yeah.
shotgun blanks.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, so I was talking with Hoffman about it because we like hooked it up to his car battery in his Jeep, and we're like doing all this stuff, and I was just like, "Why am I doing this?
this ain't
just-
it, dog.
Let's just go kinetic.
Yeah.
Let's just go kinetic." Dude, I knew about shotgun blanks, I knew about all that stuff. I didn't know about half blanks, which is what we use. But the first time I got it to work, because I had used like full blanks, like full
Sure.
like 2 and 3/4 blanks, and put it in, and it's just like a pop because realistically there's no compression around the shell, so it would just like blow out around the bottom. I was like, I'm doing this at my house. It's right next to the throughway.
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But it's like barely, like my ears aren't ringing.
Yeah.
Type shit, right?
Yeah.
And then so I got the half blanks, which are it's a full load. It's a full load of powder, right?
It's a 3/4 shell.
Oh, it's like a half shell.
Yeah, they're like
Qu-
3/4 of an
shell.
inch.
Quarter.
Oh,
So it's
3/4 of an
small-
inch.
Yeah, they're like three-
No,
quarter.
no, they're like an inch and a half. The shell
Yeah.
itself is like an inch and a half, but
Yeah.
it's a full load of
Powder.
shotgun powder.
Okay.
It just doesn't have the room for the shot and everything like that. And I was like, I was getting pretty discouraged about it, so I was like, this isn't gonna work, whatever. So I set the tube up in. I have some woods on the north end of my property, so I just went out there and was just like, whatever, here we go. And I still have a video of this because I took a video of everything so I could slow everything down and like make sure it's
See
safe.
what's happening. Right?
Yeah, I just want to make sure it's safe.
Yeah.
And I dropped the round, and it was like, dude. And in the video, I went, fuck. And then you can hear Katrina from the house go, "Are you alive?"
Oh, that's awesome.
That's how you know it's
Yeah.
good.
And I was like, oh shit. Like
This
I
is
stumbled
it.
onto it. I was
Yeah,
like, oh
this is it.
damn. Because everything before that was like a pop, snap.
Yeah,
boom. I was like,
yeah.
that's not enough.
Dave tripped, fell, and landed in gold.
Oh yeah, dude,
That's
for
it.
real. And I was just like,
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's how we do this. And then it was like a different experimentation with different type of glues and how long it should set and all that stuff. But yeah, that mortar was fucking dope. I think the video of the mortars.
So those ones went really viral on Facebook, and they have like 400 or 500,000 views, which is
Nice.
how Nico Ortiz found it.
Nice.
Which is right
One
around.
got
the-
over 1 million.
That was the video of that
Nice.
player in CQB with main character syndrome.
Yeah.
No. We had a mortar. Oh yeah, you're right. But the best part was that you could tell it reached further than the airsoft community because all the
comments
all
were
the
about
comments were
Ukraine.
like, "Ugh, if you want to do this for real, go to Ukraine." And then
Yeah,
one was like
right, okay.
like no wonder they got spotted. There's a guy with a yellow shirt there. You're like that's the ref.
Yeah. It's airsoft.
Yeah. Like that's the
guys.
the guy calling out coordinates must be an officer. Like
Yeah,
no,
so
they were just trying
Takes
to
all
like,
sorts.
yeah.
the
I was
first
just like,
mortar video
wow.
got 24.5, which makes me grossly underestimate that. There's one with 232,000. That's the one where they're like, of course it got spotted. The guy's wearing a yellow shirt.
Oh, dude, some of the comments there, like I read the comments and was legitimately laughing because these are all FUDs. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
100%.
or FUDs are like people who have never done anything in their whole lives, and it's like, one was like, you should join the military, and we were just, I was like, Jordan, respond to this one. Okay, so there's a
rule.
There's a Zulu 24 policy that's like, we don't respond to anything on the internet. Let the internet be.
Yeah.
But this one, I was like, Jordan, tell him that the guy shooting it was a ranger and that the other guy's an like, tell them.
Please.
Yes.
We were
this
on
guy needs to
vacation
burn.
when this was happening.
Yeah. Tell this guy he needs to burn. Like,
Your comments are gold.
But join the military.
The
Like,
one of that player
actually,
in CQB with main character syndrome has 1.1 million views on
There you go.
Facebook.
Not bad.
Facebook.
yeah, but that doesn't count anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought Facebook was dead,
Yeah, Facebook's dead. Facebook.
but that's still absolutely hilarious.
It works.
But old Nico Ortiz, he's used 2 of our videos now.
Yes. Well, that one
used
wasn't
to?
that wasn't our video. That was someone's.
Yeah,
video.
but I was in it.
Well,
so,
you were in it.
Yeah.
The other one.
It was
is
a
ours
fight. It was a fights and flip outs video. You know which one?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well,
from that one time
Yeah.
a long time ago.
So that Crossroads that we did this year, that was the first game where I got to like get in the helicopter. That was a crazy experience.
Oh, you had a good video from that too.
Well, I'm retarded, so I had my GoPro like aimed up a little
Way
bit more.
too much.
Yeah. So the GoPro was up too much. So like you couldn't actually see me using the minigun. It was just like implied. Jordan
Yeah.
got the one split second.
I
where
thought
I'm
I
like,
was being real slick. I gave him a camera, Rich a camera, put a camera on everybody's gun, zip tied
Yeah.
one of the minigun, was like perfect. This is
Wait,
good.
so who actually got
The
like
minigun?
behind the trucks?
That was me.
Okay, so who got the other one?
I was using the minigun the whole time.
Any
Okay.
clip with
So,
the minigun from Crossroads.
I had
Okay.
I had the minigun that this is the same one we brought to Benghazi. This is before I put the tracer units on it. I had just like took a garage spring and hit it with the torque. It's like a compression spring. So like when you or no, it's a tension, whatever it's called. But like you have to pull it and then it wants to retract. So I took one of those because it was the right diameter and I torched it and I stretched it so that it would become a compression spring. And I needed a spring strong enough to basically be able to lift up like
Because you're
1,000
pointing down. right?
Yeah, so I'm pointing down because the reservoir is in the middle of the 4 barrels of the minigun. So, and then the BBs feed into the body of the minigun. So I needed the spring to be strong enough to lift like 2,000.3s.
Right.
You know, the stock spring couldn't do that. You had to basically like hold it up to shoot it right. So now I was like minigun ready. So I was doing that. Cool. And Rich was using the featherweight saw I built him. We had these bull gear mags, and both of his mags failed due to some questionable BBs that were inside of it that maybe damaged the clutch. And I would love to talk about it, but
We can talk about it later.
yeah. We
Maybe
can talk
not
about
yet.
it. Yeah. So, but anyway, as I'm having a fucking blast now, Rich paid for my tickets as like an appreciation for getting the minigun ready and for getting his saw ready, and I'm having a blast. And I hear him like next to me in the helicopter going like, "Fuck, son of a bitch, fuck!" And his gun's like not feeding, and I'm like, "Oh no!" So like, as the tech that built the gun, I get really upset when you know the product or service I'm putting out's not good.
Right, yeah.
I'm like,
Unless you store it in a shed.
Rich got us like 2 helicopter runs. He bought like several other tickets for him and his other friends too. And I was like, Rich, take the minigun. He's like, no, man, like this is your first time on the minigun. Like it's the first time in the helicopter. Like have fun. And I felt so fucking
He's a
bad
wholesome man.
because if I was Rich, I would have been like, yeah, give me the fucking minigun. This gun that you built me is not working right.
Well, Rich is also old school airsoft, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Rich is also old school airsoft, right? So he's done it all. Rich has done it all, so he doesn't care. Like you're still a new guy. I mean, how many national events? What a
2.
stupid term.
National, like how many actual events? So I went to
Airsoft.
MSW in Balcar,
Counts.
AMS in Indiana,
Counts. I don't know why it counts, but it counts.
Benghazi.
Benghazi.
That's 3.
Oh,
And-
Benghazi. You count Benghazi as a national event?
I traveled to a different state and played at a
Oh, right on.
training site.
Yeah, I would think
That was
so.
a 40-hour
And
continuous event.
Other people that went traveled to
Yeah,
the
other
state
players.
to play.
Yeah, traveled, sure.
I don't think anybody playing there lived in West Virginia.
That's because no one lives
It's
in
'cause
West
it's
Virginia.
Not in that part. Nobody lives in that part.
The best
There's
was
like 5 people in that entire state.
yeah, like when we were driving
Love
to
West
the
Virginia.
AO, there's like this fucking hill and this huge pole with a giant Confederate flag, and I was like, yeah, we're in the South.
Oh, that's
I was like, yeah, you can't do that in New York. Like,
Unironic
yeah.
Confederate flag. Bingo.
yeah.
that was. So real quick, I got to take a pee-pee. So let's take a break.
All right.
Sorry. I'm
Airsoft.
Anthony, you ready for
I like
notes?
it. Every
So I'm on my way over here, right? I'm driving over here. Jojo's passenger seat. I go, hey, listen, we're gonna be doing the podcast. I gotta mute my phone and all that stuff. So call up Liz real quick.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey babe,
awesome.
need anything? He's fucking loving it.
Airsoft is for
Hey,
the
babe,
weekends.
hold on. So
Gets good.
well, yeah, babe, you need anything? Whatever. I'm gonna talk to you now. I'm not gonna talk to you for the rest of the night, basically. It's like, why? What's up? I'm like, well, we just finished dinner. We're going over to do the podcast. She goes, an Airsoft podcast.
Oh, man.
Hold on. Like Airsoft podcast? Yeah, babe.
Like I knew at that moment. I knew I was like, fuck.
We are that lame though. We deserve that criticism. But I will say this, dude. Of everything in life, there's a professional level, right?
Oh my
everything.
God.
Everything. Underwater basket
Dave, you're making
weaving.
this worse for me.
I know.
Professional airsofter.
No. It's not. It's.
That's not the angle he's getting at.
No,
No,
I'm just saying that there's a professional level to everything, right? Like,
Yeah.
dude, model train builders. There are some people that
Oh,
I will
straight
go
up
get
make
Alex. He's downstairs.
dude, like some straight
Yeah,
up film
straight up.
quality shit, right? I wouldn't say we're film quality based on my own fucking appearance, but like that's
But it's still holding it to a standard because look at how many other fields we've went and played at just from a business perspective.
no, but it's not even that. It's just like there's a professional level to everything. Think
Yeah,
of something.
sure.
Toothpick collector. I guarantee you there's a
100%.
toothpick
Yeah.
collector.
100%,
And then I guarantee
yeah.
you there's a toothpick collector that's above that guy who has specific this was Clint Eastwood's toothpick from fucking whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there is because you know what? Men have been emasculated so much that like hunting and fishing and killing and all this stuff, we can't do that shit anymore. So
God
now
forbid you do that, right?
dude,
Yeah,
so now we
yeah.
have to make $150 tables with fucking blowtorches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Be
Like
a
just
man.
to like feel that
Get
thing.
your
So
fix.
Yeah, when having a beer with your friends makes you an alcoholic.
Oh yeah.
You gotta
Right,
have-
right.
You got to have a special interest. I think that's like where autism comes from. It's from like it's from repressed, like disenfranchised men having to have that
Well, that's
outlet.
new.
Good job, Dave.
my cup is leaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's new.
See, and I'm
leaking
sure
from the center.
It's
That's
right there,
weird.
yeah.
I'm
Is
sure
there another cup
somebody
over there?
Yeah.
We've got a wonderful guy named Jamie that'll help us out there.
somebody has a special
Ouch.
interest probably in,
Oh, it's leaking a
in
bunch.
paper mugs that don't leak.
Hold on.
Is
You
it
gotta-
bad?
you gotta
Bad?
double
Yeah, it's
cup
really
it.
bad,
You
actually.
gotta double cup it. You gotta
Like
double cup
in
it.
the next 30 seconds. Never mind, Jamie. We got it.
we got it.
Wow, that happened fast. Wow. Oh, that's
Oh.
even faster. There we go. Look at this.
What is going on?
So remember how I
chewing
said
on it.
Can I actually just have that cup? of
Remember how I
coffee?
said professional
Jamie.
level? The cup was not a professional
Yeah.
level. That
Clearly
seam is
it
coming
wasn't.
apart.
Clearly
That's just
it
a piece of paper right now.
Yeah.
It's just a piece of paper
Yeah.
that somebody like rolled in right now. Like that's what it-
So
Have
I
you ever seen a man that talks out of the paper asshole? That's what it looks like right there. Oh, my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
It's
Now
only
you're
getting
burned.
worse.
You're
It's
getting
only getting
everywhere.
worse. Yeah. Oh.
What
Hope we haven't.
hey, at least it's coffee this time.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
Dave, what were you doing to that cup?
Nothing. Just drinking from
Drinking
it.
it's
But
like
out
he
of
was
it.
chewing it.
Yeah.
this was a one-time use cup for sure.
Clearly.
So like
Only
I,
for 10 minutes.
I found
Yeah.
out that like normal people have hobbies, like neurotypical people have hobbies, but like autistic people have special interests. And when I look at my history with airsoft, I would totally consider that a special interest.
Airsoft.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Like
wish you said that. into the mic.
we kind of all are. So like,
that was.
Oh, no.
that was great.
so all right.
Oh no, wait, heard that.
If you have a hobby,
I accept it.
right? If you have a hobby, you do your thing. It's your hobby. You're into it. You definitely do research.
Pour it into the other cup. This is just.
Nope.
Is just.
What's happening?
I hope we are recording. 'Cause
You're ruining another cup.
pour that cup.
Dude,
into
look,
that cup.
dude, look.
Dave's not.
Are we getting this on film?
This
Yeah,
cup,
we are. Dave's not drinking
So
coffee.
look-
He's drinking acid.
It's a magic
For
trick.
real.
It's a magic trick. It's a magic trick. Boom.
Oh,
It's like
Boom.
that time you asked that waiter for a cup
Dude,
to show her a
look
magic
at
trick.
that cup. That cup just gave up. This is what the Army looks like compared to the Marine
Yeah.
Corps. The fucking it just gave up. It just gave up.
oof!
Yeah, fight me in the comments. Come on.
Look how much more money was spent on the
Whoa,
print.
hold on. That
Hold
can't
on.
be-
When's the Army ball?
Oh,
exactly.
I was
Win
gonna
some Marine
say
Corps
that.
ball. Everybody knows when that is.
Yeah.
Suck to be beloved.
That dude with the
So,
Marine
yeah.
Corps username.
Yeah, exactly.
When you have
But I'm a reservist in fucking Army. Oh, go ahead.
when you have a special interest, it's like when we have a conversation. Like if I were to have a conversation with a stranger in public and they ask me what I do, and I'm just like, I do like airsoft and whatever.
Do you actually say that?
When people ask what I do, I try to not.
No, you don't. You say it's like paintball, but
It is true.
They say it's like
Yeah.
paintball, but like
Yeah.
when you start talking to them about airsoft, the stranger that knows nothing about it, and you're like, I mean, it's really fascinating because like there's so many different ways you can build the inside of these little mechanical engines inside of it. Like, some people like to pair like 13-to-1 ratio gears with like a 22 GPA motor to get
Ooh,
a really
you
snappy
lost me.
trigger response.
Yeah,
get
you
lost in the
like-
you
sauce.
fucking lost me.
Like when somebody like can't not talk about their special interests like
That's you.
all the time.
That's you.
I
That
think we
like,
call that an obsession.
that's totally me. I'm totally like that with airsoft.
Yeah.
Totally-
Specifically,
I was totally like that with music.
specifically when Garand is like, "Hey, I want you to build me a rifle."
Well, that's not how it happened.
No, and then Anthony's like, "Oh, and then this and fucking
Yeah.
how many
So-
jewels?" Like, oh my god, you
Disclaimer:
lost it.
Build it
Anthony
and send it.
just build
Build
it
it and send it.
and send it.
You
So,
fucking lost
there-
it.
Build
I-
it and invite
There
it.
have been several like
We
DM
love you, Grant.
back and forth with Garantham regarding me building him a gun, and it started with like I would share stuff from her story, and like he liked some of the shares, so I was like, oh, so that means like now there's this DM feed where he like actually noticed my account. Senpai noticed me, so I was like, I'm gonna just message him and be like, I'd be like, hey, you just let me build you a BB gat, and it was like, yeah, like okay, boss, 1 sec, boss, like those types of responses.
Sure.
And then I was like, cool, what does he want? I was like, there's this, and that. And I think I over
Yeah,
Oh,
you just
man.
gotta
did it.
do your thing and then send it to him.
Oh, you did.
But the last time I DM'd him, which was quite recently, I was like, so we found that we got this G28.
I got this G28.
Yeah. So it was the idea is that it would be like a gift from Zulu Outdoor and Antec. I would build it. He'd source the gun and maybe whatever attachments we put on it. And it was a G28, like one of 500 ever made or something. And he managed to get it for a good deal. It might have a real HK rail on it. We're not sure.
I think it does.
Yeah, because it's not the original rail, and it's not any rail that any Chinese company
And it
rebros.
100% has a real G28 stock, which is all nerd shit. It really doesn't matter. It's cool.
Special interest, and like I was like, because he said he wanted a Scar H or a 417, and then I was just like, because if Scar H,
correct.
if I build in
Yeah.
the Scar H,
Yeah.
it's not going to perform the best because the Scar H like system is like flawed in airsoft. And then the 417, it's like, fuck, you're not going to get that. And then I got this G28, and I sent him a picture of the G28, and I was like, it's not 417, but it's like one of 500 made. And he was like, that's awesome. He said, that's awesome.
There you
And
go.
I was like, so do you want it? If you want it, we'll go for it. And he said, yeah.
So where are you at in progress?
We have the gun, and we were all talking about it in a group. And some of our friends brought up some good points. Richie in particular, he's just like, look, like the guy's like a content creator. He's like a social media influencer. That might not have even been him if we responded to the message. We like Micah definitely plays airsoft. Like airsofters know that, and like you might just send it to him, and like you're gonna spend like thousands of dollars building it and all your time building it,
No,
and like nothing.
Really?
That's what Richie said.
The
But
trade-off.
the thing is, and part of me, they say don't meet your heroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So part of me is just like, it's not like he would have any incentive to even make a post and be like, Antec built it. Really, for me, it's genuinely a token of appreciation because I actually
No.
think, no, sir.
No, you're saying no to that. Really?
Well, that's
Listen.
that's why I want to build it for him because I think what he's done for like the Milsim Sphere and airsoft.
So
is
build it
fucking
for
awesome.
Milsim Peanut
Ooh.
Mm.
Okay.
because Milsim Peanut's done far more for airsoft than Grantham has. Right. The trade off is, and this is no secret, right? Like we're all business here, right? Like
Yeah.
look, we have to take in positive revenue stream to keep the business open and also improving, right? And
Sure.
it's no secret that we reinvest to make sure that the player experience is good. If not, then we wouldn't be nominated for top 3 fucking LSAR.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
So the trade-off has to be, you build him the gun, he's happy with it, he puts it, he shouts you out in a video. Even if it's fucking weird,
A
man.
blip of a second.
What's really weird is I had a dream, and this is maybe narcissistic of me or whatever fuck, but So anyway, I had a dream where like I couldn't tell in my dream who it was, but it was somebody who was just like, oh, it's going to do so well. But they were just like, and Zulu 24 Airsoft. But they said it like begrudgingly and also turning away from the camera. Like they were like, and also Zulu 24 Airsoft.
Shy away from it.
Yeah, but I was like, good enough.
Any news is good news.
Yeah. So the trade-off has to be, right? You do all this work for free, thousands of dollars worth of work for free. He, in turn, at the very least, says your fucking name in 1.2 seconds of his fucking video.
That's all it takes.
Right?
Yeah.
And he understands the value of that. You understand the value of that. And it's a mutual agreement. And there you go. Right? Like,
Gotta keep in mind.
I'm going to say, we're talking about the, what is it? The HK.
We're talking about
the
taking my G28.
The G28. Okay.
G28.
I'm going to say the Vityaz PP19, right? Sure. We're talking about a gun this big and we're talking about a gun this big. Again, realizing it's airsoft. I played with my subcompact machine gun.
Your pee-pee.
I played with my PP, right?
you look good with that gun, by the way.
And I go out there and I'm like, that shot is impossible for airsoft standards. And I would look in that direction, shoot, and walk away like, sure. Hit! Holy shit. And I'm just saying that because we're talking about a subcompact build. And I could only imagine what a full build would be. So like and subscribe to my boy Antec Airsoft, because I'm just saying, like,
and also Zulu 24 Podcast.
And Zulu 24 Podcast and the snack bar and Zulu Outdoors.
Well, for context, Anthony did build your PP19.
He 100% did, 100%. And that's what I mean. Like, I look what he did with his subcompact. And I feel like I play out there with a DMR in a subcompact. Imagine the full size, and you're playing that role. So
So here's
matters.
the clip, and
Jojo,
also
play
pop a
with the gun.
thumb. Pop a thumb. Give our buddy Anthony a little bone, man. He'll build you the gun. You just say his fucking name one time. You don't even have to be happy about saying the name.
You could say it begrudgingly.
You just be
I'm
like
okay with
primary
this.
arms, and then be like, and also
Sonoran Desert
Antec,
Desert
and also
Institute, yeah,
and also
Antec Airsoft.
If you say that I give
Actually-
free candy corn with every gun I build, I'll honor it. I'll give
actually
free candy
you
corn.
could have
Oh.
Charlie do it in the background
with the
Yeah.
rake.
with his rake and just be like, and also Antec Airsoft Studios. I mean, like, good enough. Good enough.
In fact,
man.
that might be better.
I think we would all
Right?
coom if Charlie said
That would
it.
be awesome.
Yo,
I
also
love Charlie.
Also, bring Charlie back to your fucking videos, dude. What were you thinking?
Charlie's the man.
So I wanted to make me and Jordan wanted to make a video, call it like building Garand's airsoft gun,
Wait.
and making it like a
Like a series.
like
Well, yeah. So this was a hypothetical. If he said yes, and we were like, okay,
and he
let's do
said
it.
yes. So like we can just build it out and
I'm
just
sold.
show me building it.
Yo,
You
it
know?
better be.
Those are hard videos to make though, because there's
It better be the most reliable. I don't mean it needs to shoot good, right? Because Garand, to be honest with you, love you, Papa Thumb. He's not going to know what a good airsoft gun shoots like. It better be the gun that never breaks for fucking 3 years.
yeah, like his commentary on guns that he's had built for him before was that we've had built guns before, but they broke.
Yeah.
So and
Because
he
he
didn't
doesn't
say
know
he didn't say names or anything. So I know, like, if I built him a gun and it went to shit, he's not gonna broadcast.
No, but he also doesn't know how to maintain them. So, like, that's a huge
why
factor.
the Kythera was thrown into the loop.
yeah.
Right.
So when I was thinking of what type of gun I
Yeah.
would build for this guy that would mainly play a game like Milsim West, that whose main complaint with airsoft is the airsoft itself, how there's like this limitation.
He liked
like-
the nighttime, yeah, but the
Like,
daytime
how
was
can I like make the most capable airsoft gun for a Milsim West event for somebody that actually wants to outrange people and kind of have
No,
the
he wants
closest thing to some real world advantage?
he
as
wants
far as-
black BBs, so you can't see.
Correct.
You just gotta
Yeah.
you just gotta look at your sight,
Yeah.
pull the trigger, and
Send
see
it.
somebody react. Like, that's
Yeah.
what he wants.
It's hard to know what
He
he
doesn't-
wants, because
He doesn't care about range. He doesn't
Yeah.
care about, like, he knows, right? He wants a gun that when he pulls the trigger, it fucking fires. And also, honestly, he wants a gas blowback.
Yeah.
He wants that.
GBB.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? Like, when I build guns for customers, most of the time, there's some type of consultation thing where I'll talk to them in person or like a quick phone call and be like, what do you want? Here's some options. And I'll quickly put it into like layman's terms so that people that aren't into the tech stuff can be like, this is what I want. Like, I don't want an engagement distance, but I want really good range. And it, when you're building a gun for a customer, it's based on their budget. It's based on their feelings too, because some people have personal things about what they're putting in the gun. They have ideas. They have expectations of what can be done within a certain budget. And then a lot of the consultations, just putting all that into a perspective. So you're like, look, this is what we can really do based on what you want and what you're willing to spend on it. And, with Grantham, that conversation was just him going like, yeah, boss. Yes, boss. Or like, 1 sec, boss.
The other thing with the gas blowback, you're talking about keeping something reliable for years.
Yeah.
And gas blowback.
No.
That's
what
tough.
honestly, what he wants is a GBLS.
Which is not reliable.
No, I know, but it's the system that he wants, right? Gas gun maintenance is huge,
Yeah,
just like real gun maintenance, right?
Yeah,
Every
correct.
time you shoot, you get it clean.
correct.
He wants something he can put down because in his mind it's a toy. Plug a battery in that he charges because everybody knows how to charge a battery.
Mhm.
Go out and play. That's what he wants, and he wants that feedback. So, like Kytheras are excellent airsoft products, but they don't give you that feedback, dude. Like I was shooting your gun today in the shop.
Oh, is this when Anthony was working on it?
Yeah, and I pulled the trigger and I was like, it's like an 8-pound trigger, and then we measured it was like 8.7 pounds.
Yeah.
So you get all that trigger pull and then nothing.
I liken it to like a Mantis system. It's like dry fire training, but there's a projectile. Like, and Kytheras are cool in that you can tune that trigger.
It's an excellent
good weight
airsoft
to
product.
it.
Yeah.
There's a reset to it.
Yeah.
And if you set it up right, where you have some take up before that wall,
Like what you did to
you can practice not just releasing it all the way, actually
See,
following up your shots by releasing it and keeping yourself at that wall.
But I don't think Garantham's looking for range, accuracy, distance, all that stuff. I think he's looking for feedback. I think he's looking for like weapon manipulation, dude, because he's much more he's kind of like me.
Yeah. I'd love to have his attention for like 5 minutes.
Well, he's
and
much
just
more
talk to him about it.
He's
That'd
much
be so cool.
That's the appropriate answer.
That's
But he's
good,
he's much more into the maneuver and like getting close to the enemy than he is my airsoft gun can shoot 2 miles.
ridiculously.
Like
Correct.
like that's not even in his psyche. He's like, I want to, everything to him is training, right? Everything to him is training, and you're not going to be able to train the range, but you can train the weapon manipulation because that's the thing you hold in your hand. So if it's trying to jump out of your hands, even if it's a little bit, that's better than a Kythera, which is just the 8-pound trigger pull and then nothing. It shoots phenomenally.
Right.
You can shoot a mile and a half.
Of course it does, yeah.
But
Maybe not a mile and a half.
Well,
It's not
but,
airsoft.
but it doesn't matter to him, is what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
like he's not muscling that weapon in. He's not doing anything. And I think maybe that's where he's at. But also, who the fuck am I?
But also,
I shoot a
coming from
Sistema. So
coming from a gas gun user, he can't have that. No,
It's tough.
it's
That's
a
tough.
lot.
no,
It's-
gas guns.
It
suck,
will break.
yeah.
It's gas gun airsoft is way different, and if you don't maintain it properly, you will have a nightmare.
Sure, and I think that's 99% of the problem when he's talking about, I've had other built guns and they just don't work. I think that's it.
Yeah.
It's ignorance in the most esteemed version of the term. Ignorance is just the fact that you don't know. You know what I mean? It's not your fault. You just don't know.
I think it's a toy. Pick it up, play it.
Yeah.
put
And
it
that's
down,
the
pick it up.
stigma, and I think that's the stigma still to him today.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I believe that behind closed doors, when Micah refers to airsoft, I believe that Garantham's like, oh yeah, fucking little Nerf guns. I believe that.
Yeah,
I
no,
believe that.
and I'm going to say I agree.
Hashtag Garantham.
So, outside of airsoft, my Monday through Fridays, I work for a firearms store, and a lot of the real guys that I work with, I'm saying real guys, they work Team One, the face of HK. When HK came to America, I worked with one of those gentlemen. I worked for a gentleman that worked in Passaic County SWAT for several years, as well as just guys that have been doing the job. And when I express to them, like, they come to me like, what qualifies you to even, be in here? And I'm like, well, outside of what I do currently, I've worked a lot of my life, and a lot of it is warehousing and Excel spreadsheets and just understanding accountability. And so I do the shipping and receiving for a firearms store, and I also do airsoft on the weekend. So when a customer comes up and they're just like, what's the best firearm? So I could point them into the firearm that I could get them to, but the weapon, when I go grab that firearm off that wall and I start to manipulate it in a way, they go, hey man, I'm gonna buy that. by the way, like, can you train me? And I'm just like, I'm just a huge nerd.
You're like, I have a special interest.
Yeah,
everybody's back to the special interest.
Nerd,
but here's
you
the
know?
ultimate truth,
Yeah.
right? And here's the hot take, right?
Take it.
So airsoft in no way is a good is a perfect. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Airsoft in no way is a perfect training scenario for the real world, right? There have been many airsoft events, specifically a specific producer, where at the end of the event, I've had Hall of Fame Rangers at the end be like, I would go to combat with any of you. And then I look at Mario and I'm just like, I wouldn't go to combat with any of you. Right?
I've once asked you, I was like, if the apocalypse happened, like, are we gonna like team up and like
We're tagging up.
try
right
to-
now.
And Davis like, fuck no, you fucking idiots are gonna get us all killed.
Yeah, no. However, comma, pause for effect, which is a throw out to my buddy Parker. There are good aspects of airsoft. And I will tell you this. When it comes to CQB, in terms of repetitions, weapons handling, I've seen airsofters that put Force Recon to fucking shame. Because the way you learn lessons in the military is Jojo goes in first. Oh, he's dead. Now I go in. Oh, fuck, I'm dead. Now the third guy goes in. Oh, he's wounded. Hey, third guy, what'd you see? Well, I saw the first two guys die, and then I went to pie right, and I got shot in the shoulder. So I think we need to pie a little quicker. Whereas with airsoft, it's like, oh, you're hit, go back to respawn. Boom, back in.
Oh, yeah.
So the amount of repetitions, quote unquote, real world repetitions, and I use that term extremely loosely. The kid with a Polar Star and a Di-4 is going to learn more in one day than the U.S. Army in fucking 50 years.
Yeah.
So by the end of the day, he knows how to pie. Dude, airsofters can pie a corner fucking 1,000 times better than anybody ever fucking in the Marine Corps that I worked with. Right now, granted, I'm an old school, like got out in 2007, so there's been a lot of changes since then. So in terms of weapons manipulation, actually physically holding the rifle in your hand and working a corner, dude, hands down, specifically with pieing corners and shit, airsofters get it done, man. Like now, everything outside of individual action, airsofters suck at because nobody wants to work with somebody else, especially if they don't know that other person. Oh man, like teamwork is the dream work, and that's what makes the U.S. military fucking unbeatable.
Right.
But honestly, the lessons learned through airsoft in 1 8-hour day of open play is worth 50 years of fucking like real world experience, dude.
Yeah.
For
So
real. Beyond cover, concealment, and that type of things, but. I'm generalizing so much, and I know the comments are going to be like, bleh, bleh, bleh. But I need you just to focus on this one aspect I'm talking about. The repetitions involved for that fucking 15-year-old with a Di-4. And like, he's going to learn more in that fucking day than a military will in 50 years. Because just because the people that learn the lessons are dead.
Yeah.
They can't tell you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You can't learn from your mistakes. You don't get that opportunity.
Correct.
Yeah, like maybe from a bird's eye view, but even then it's a bird's eye view. Whereas this guy's learning first person, like what I did wrong, what I should have done.
Constantly.
And so I think there's value to airsoft when it comes to training, but there's absolutely limitations for sure. But there's even more limitations with sim rounds. Like sim rounds are hands down not the best for training. I've used them. I've used sim rounds. I've used UTMs. They're not the best all around. Airsoft is the best.
Why? Right. Because
man.
I would say airsoft, right? Then sim round, then
No.
live fire, like live fire, you know?
Yeah,
Well,
I've talked to different people that have a lot of different views on that. So like the guys that came and did SWAT training at the field, one of the guys,
Airsoft.
he told me that they use sims. He's like, they would not consider using airsoft for any of their training. He's like, we use sims. In his opinion, it was like the sims is the closest thing you can get to actually manipulating a real firearm. Which
Yes.
you are using
Yes.
a real firearm. You're
That is
changing
true.
the
That's
bolts
the
and running
selling
different
point.
rounds.
But what are you training, right? So
Yeah.
So when you're doing those force on force exercises, what are you training? Are you training your weapon manipulation in terms of bolt and magazine, or are you training your unit movement? If you're training unit movement and unit cohesion, then you might as well have broomsticks in your hand.
I was gonna say
Doesn't
you
matter.
can't use Nerf guns.
Right.
Doesn't fucking matter,
Mhm.
right? And the limitations on UTM and sim rounds, which I've used both, are abysmal. You can get in a big building and your UTM will not hit where you aim across a large building, right? Whereas with airsoft, you can hit what you're aiming at with the same amount of reaction time or whatever the fuck. Like the only difference is that it doesn't mark you, right? And I went to, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I started a training company called Pale Horse Tactical Training Company. It didn't go anywhere, but we went to the Tactical Officers Association, New York Tactical Officers Association, what are they called? Expo, right? And right next to us was Simunition, right? UTM didn't exist. UTM did exist, but they weren't there at that particular one. And our argument was like, all the law enforcement came up to us and we showed them our guns and everything, and they were like, "Wow, these are really good." And like yeah, because your departments are buying shit guns. Like these are what they could be. This is how you could do it. And every time you pull the trigger, it's 0.08 cents a round.
Right. And there were KWA, gas blowback.
Oh, they were nothing. They were
Yeah.
like garbage, right? And I was like, "How much is a sim round?" 51 cents a round. 51. They were more than real ammo back then.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Yeah, but it doesn't mark the target." I'm like, that doesn't matter.
So does me shooting you, breaking skin.
That doesn't matter
Sure, yeah.
because you're in a training environment.
Right.
Hey, role player, did you get hit? Yes, I got hit right here.
100%.
Like, why would the role player be like, "Nah, you didn't hit me.
Right.
Gun hit, bitch."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Nope.
like who are your role players?
Right.
Maybe you should check out your role players. It made no sense. And they're like, "Oh, but then the weapons manipulation." I'm like, well, what are you training? Are you training that? Go to the range. Go to the live fire range. You're training unit movement,
Force on force.
right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Just make sure the guns work. Like that's all you need, right? I think airsoft has a place in training. It's just not the ultimate trainer, and I think that lessons can be learned a lot faster through airsoft, much cheaper, and all it would take is one officer to go to Antec Airsoft Studios custom course for $39.99 for fucking 3 weeks, and just learn how to maintain an airsoft gun.
So I actually made the SOP for West Point's fast team on how to maintain their airsoft guns. So I'm there on a fellowship. I'm sure I've told you guys about it, but I guess for the viewer. So I'm not in the military.
That's federal.
Yeah, I'm not in the military. I've never served, but I've seen firsthand with these fast team cadets. So now these are West Point cadets. They're all going to school to be officers, right? And I'm sure you guys in the Marines have opinions on officers and stuff. But their fast team uses airsoft guns, and I work with the Robotics Research Center there at West Point, and we fund them because we use their curriculum to do stuff with tech. And so we get pretty involved in what they do throughout the semester as far as like when they're doing CQB training. I can just attend that. If they're going to do a training on a weekend, which there's one coming up in a couple weekends while I'm not going to be here, I get to attend that. I get to put on kit and like join them. So it's really cool. I get to see their AARs, get to see how they're doing things. And because our department funds them, and because they use airsoft, and because me and Tyler know airsoft, we were kind of deferred to make some decisions as to what guns they get, and also our input's not valueless when it comes to how they do things. And the cadets love it because they're younger guys. A lot of them have played airsoft.
Cool.
So they're always fun to like hang out with and stuff. And I've seen firsthand how when they're using airsoft guns and they're doing field training exercises, how repetition helps them.
Sure.
Last year,
makes a lot
we
of
saw
sense.
how slow it took for them to run a scenario, stop, do a quick AAR on what they just did, and then do it again. Towards the end of the day, these guys had like no reps. So me and Tyler like made a comment about it, like, hey, why don't we try to get them more reps? So now the current fast team leader was like all on board with that. So they supposedly were doing more reps now, and they're giving feedback saying like, yeah, the repetition of doing that exercise again was super valuable. And they're not even clearing rooms or anything. They're doing like larger things, but they are practicing squad tactics. They are using tech. They're using like drones and stuff. And airsoft is valuable. Like you said, it depends on what you're training, and it is much cheaper, and you can hit your target. If
Is that you may have to bleep this name.
Airsoft.
No.
Is he not the leader of that anymore?
No. So whoever the fast team leader
you
is,
have to bleep that.
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
The fast
Yeah,
team
I'll
leader is
bleep that.
typically like whichever senior or the firstie. That is that's what they call the seniors.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
it's like whichever firstie I think elects to be it, and then is it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it changes every year. But yeah, so the repetition I think is good. Airsoft is a good trainer for it. I think a lot of people's criticisms of it, particularly guys like that do SWAT, particularly guys that have been to war, their critique on it is like, this is not going to prepare you for a battlefield where like your life is on the line.
No.
And
Sure,
John
'cause it
Lovell
doesn't.
from Warrior Poet Society had a really interesting take on it, which is the moment you lose that fear of getting shot in airsoft,
Right.
you lose a lot of the value in it for training because you might make some fatal mistakes.
Yeah, but I see the opposite. Right? So the moment you lose that fear in airsoft is the moment that you capitalize on situations that you wouldn't be able to capitalize because of fear. And there's no mistake. Think about this, right? If I'm going to fight you, but you have no fear, but I have fear, who has the advantage?
All day he does. All day he does. Always. Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that is, look, I don't want to talk about it. So I've been overseas. I've done some things. I've been scared. I've been not scared. The moment you're not scared, you're the hunter. There's an empowerment there, and there's a clarity, and there's a predator vision that comes with that. And it's a stupid way to put it, and it's so cringy. I'm gonna fucking get murdered in the comments.
but
for
it
that.
makes sense.
Can you
But
zoom
it
in
does,
on him?
though.
Yeah,
It does make
predator
sense, though.
vision.
Oh,
Yeah,
this'll
it's
be
so
short.
It's
Oh, yeah.
so lame.
Oh,
It's
put the look.
so lame.
Also, you can put the fear of God into somebody on the airsoft field.
You
There's a guy named
can,
Adrian
but-
on the field.
Yeah,
You hear his BBs hit the wall next to you. You don't want to
Yeah,
go by that window.
but
Sure.
I
like
said
the
that last
whole
weekend.
purpose.
Did you really?
Yeah.
The whole purpose of training, even in the real world, is to negate that fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
And now removing that fear from in training in airsoft, to me, is a plus. But it also comes at a caveat, understanding that piece of plywood isn't cover; it's concealment.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like things like
Correct.
that.
Correct.
And
Correct.
as long as you have that, I think there's still training. I don't think you need to be scared to have good training. You know what I mean? Think about everybody that's on the range and they're doing their live fire. Are they scared doing their live fire?
No, they're firing.
So that would imply that training is not good.
I feel like the whole point of a lot of training is to instill fear and stress into you, so that when you're in that environment,
You're
have
not.
it. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So
Yeah.
so I don't think that
the
good
no
note.
came
Oh, he's
out.
right.
Yeah, I like it.
yeah, Austin said
Austin
No.
is
Oh,
Instill fear in training.
we got way off track. So
Correct.
we were on
Right.
Crossroads, I
Right, we
think.
were.
We
Yeah,
got
we were.
off the rails.
Yeah, we were like off.
Because we
the
talked
rails.
about Garand that turned
Off
into
the rails.
airsoft.
Well, hold on.
personal
Okay,
training.
so Crossroads,
So we start now.
yay or nay?
Yeah, the last 30 minutes just gone.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Hey, that
No,
could be
okay.
like an extra
we got that Predator take. It was worth it.
It'll go on the Patreon.
Yeah.
part 2.5.
Patreon.
So Crossroads, as far as again, like, so prior to the, so we did we cancel Crossroads last year?
No,
that
it
Blood
was
Diamond.
Blood Diamond.
Blood
We'll
Diamond.
get to that.
But we went into Crossroads this year, and like you said, we implemented new things into it:
Oh man,
the
so
mortar,
many.
the clay,
the drone,
drone, right?
dog tags,
which is huge.
Oh, no capture points. There were no capture
right.
points.
So it wasn't just a
It
capture
was just
the flag
force on
game.
force.
Correct.
fucking get
Correct.
after
Correct.
it.
Correct.
Yeah,
So
Total war.
again, we're implementing new things into the game of airsoft.
yeah.
Again, and in that day we had I want to say it was how many players showed up?
Well,
for
I
that-
did
for that
pre-reg
event?
only.
It was 100 for each team.
Was it
No,
100?
200.
Yeah, that's right. No,
200.
It was
players.
100 on 100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100 on 100, and it sold out very quickly.
Yeah.
And it ran really fucking well.
Yeah.
And I think,
But you also had really good commanders for both teams.
yeah, fucking Max and Ian, dude, they're good at what they do.
Yeah.
They
And,
did an excellent job. And actually, so on top of them doing a really good job as commanders, there's like the cohesion, the SMG role that you experimented with,
That was cool.
Oh,
that
that's
went-
right. Yeah.
that went really well.
That's a keeper.
Now, did it go really well because only like fucking 5 people did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be.
Yeah.
Which means
Now-
next year
'Cause if you
everybody's
had
going to
one-
show up with an SMG.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
But also it was like less than a jewel. Like,
Yeah, it was 285 FPS and 18 rounds per second on full auto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, there
think
was
that's
some
good.
people afterwards that were just like, I got blasted. I didn't even care because it wasn't that bad.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Okay.
That's healthy.
No, but Max in the
healthy.
end, big shout out to Grimnir.
Get full auto. It's healthy.
Big shout out to Grimnir, man. They did a fucking phenomenal job. Those guys are fucking amazing. If you don't go to their events, you're stupid, to be honest with you, because they're actually my favorite event that I have been to in my lifetime was a Grimnir event at a skirmish.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fucking, dude, they ran it so fucking
That was a FOMO moment. I texted Dave and I was like, hey, so how's that Grimnir game going? And he goes, dude, you are missing it. This is the best game ever. I'm like, shit, I
Yeah.
should have won.
Dude,
that.
everything
we
about
missed
that
that.
game
We
was
totally
fucking
missed that.
fire. Like, the player base was awesome. It wasn't like huge numbers either. Player base was awesome. Their vehicle rules were awesome. The way that they utilized skirmish, and they caught a lot of flack for it, but I'm like, you're fucking stupid. So skirmish is kind of separated by a road that goes up the middle. So the entire first day, the game started Friday. We like doing shit Friday, but the entire first day, so Saturday, was everything to the left side of that road. And skirmish is massive. So that was plenty.
Sure.
And then Saturday night, was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday night, they did like a night raid out on that other side. So it was like, you've been playing this, you've been playing this, you've been playing this. Hey, tonight there's a mission to this other
New,
thing
yeah.
that you have no idea.
That's new.
Surprise.
And everybody's like, ooh, there was a lot of paint on the field. Fuck you. Shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. Like,
That's
the
all they
amount of
got. That's all they got.
like
There's
the
a lot
amount
of
of
paint.
shit that they
No.
went through to even rent half of skirmish. I don't know if you know what skirmish is. Skirmish is the field that opened like 1984 for paintball. It's like one of the
Yeah.
biggest Northeast paintball meccas of the world. They don't give a fuck who Grimnir is, dude. Any given weekend,
Yeah.
they're making $200,000. So why the fuck would they let this airsoft thing rent? But they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Disclaimer: we're old.
oh yeah,
We
yeah.
played there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we're
That-
old.
yeah.
I played Op Fallout there.
Yeah.
They have great terrain, like in the woods.
It's so fucking cool.
And, yeah, 100%.
And then the way
Circle
that-
city, castle. And,
The way that
and,
Grimnir
yeah.
did it, right? It's a 3-day event. They don't claim it to be 40 hours, but it's so awesome, dude. So you play airsoft even from Friday night all the way till 1 a.m. 1 a.m. there's a hard pause. Everybody gets sleep till fucking 6 a.m. Then you go. You know what I mean? So it's like it's right at the point where you're like, I'm gonna go back and hit the rack. Oh, cool. The game's paused, and then you like restart, and then the same thing Sunday. So nobody was so beat that they just fucking left. So
Right.
the retention was through the roof because they give you that time to sleep.
Right.
Right? Like
That
you can
was-
do whatever you want till 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And then that's it, And it was the perfect. It is the perfect answer to the stale ass 40-hour fucking scenario thing.
Right.
Okay.
40 hours is fucking stale. You're camping most of the time. You're tired fucking Saturday night because Friday night you stayed all night. Like,
I like that.
dude, nobody
Same.
was too tired
like
to
that.
do shit Saturday night.
Everybody was
Saturday night is when they went, I'll call it across the river, and did their raid on the part of the field that nobody had seen yet. And I was too much of a bitch to do it. I was sleepy. So I'm listening to it on the radio. And I was getting a boner listening to it on the radio.
Imagine. Yeah.
Because it sounded
Yeah.
awesome, chaotic. Hey, where are you? Oh my God, I'm over here. They're like, oh my God, there's the HVT. Let's get him. Dude, it was so fucking cool. And the way they ended that game was so fucking awesome, dude. It was literally the best airsoft event I've ever been to. Logistically, as a player, like I had all the Navy SEAL moments that every player wants to fucking have. And it was fucking amazing. Anyway, I got off on a fucking cocksucking tangent on that one.
That was long.
Yeah.
That was good.
But
Made
That was
sense.
genuine.
So what I draw from that, right, from the conversation that we started and where we're at now is the right amount of airsoft players on any given field, along with production value, gives
yeah.
Navy SEAL moments.
Like, dude, that game, even with the perfect logistics that they had, that game with 800 players would be trash.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Too much.
Yeah.
You're going to just run
Gotta know your
into
limit.
It's
you
almost
the
quality,
Western
quantity.
Front again, which
it's
is
almost like getting like the airsoft mecca. What's that place?
Fort Drum,
Well, even if you got Fort Drum, or what's another place?
Guardian Center.
Like Guardian
Guardian
Center.
Center.
It's
Right.
almost like getting
Right.
Guardian Center and then selling 800 tickets.
We've been there.
Seen it.
It doesn't matter who the producer
not fun.
is. It doesn't matter who the producer is
800
because
is too much.
A, Guardian Center ain't that big, and you can find me on that. But when you look at any building, and any building has 70 fucking dudes in it,
Right.
what are you going to do with your 12-man squad or even your 24-man squad?
Sure. We quacked to our death.
Yeah.
Quack. Yeah, we quacked to our death.
It doesn't matter what command and control you have. It's just an airsoft game at that point. There's no maneuver. There's no control. Dude, a game with even 200 on 200 at Guardian.
Oh, no, that's great. I've done that. That's awesome.
Would be phenomenal.
That's amazing.
It would give you room to move around.
That's
like,
exactly it. Yeah.
But like 800 play, like, and I understand Guardian probably costs fucking $100,000 to rent for a fucking weekend.
Yeah.
So you got to sell those amount of tickets. But at some point, as an event producer, you're just like, like, is it a cash grab or is it, can I make
Because
a quality
for
product?
you at this point in time, because we're kind of ballparking ideally the right number for Guardian,
Oh, sure, we don't know.
you would have to charge $500 a player
I'd play it.
to do
I'd pay it.
200 on 200.
I'd pay it,
and
Yeah,
I
if
would
it was
pay
high
it
quality.
amazing.
Yeah.
dude. I'd pay it
Yeah.
just to get the head
first-
count down.
The first Milsom West game at Guardian Center in 2016 was 200 on 200, and it was an amazing fucking game.
Sure.
And that is in my mind one of the best MSW games I've ever been to because it wasn't overcrowded.
Was
You
that
could
the
get-
one where you broke your rail?
That is the one where I fell out of a
Oh,
truck and
boy.
broke
Yeah.
my rail in half.
Yeah,
that
so-
was 5 minutes into the game.
That was my first ever MSW.
Oh yeah, you
or
were there.
First ever
yeah,
event.
dude, that was amazing.
And
Great
till
game.
today, I'm like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So-
I haven't reached that yet.
Dude, so
Yeah.
to counterpoint that, I
Yeah.
went to the one recently. past
We
year.
did that in 2020.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah,
The most recent
2021.
one we did.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was garbage. It was my
100%.
worst game I ever played.
Jojo was at that one too.
I was at that one too. We went 23-0 in the tunnel, or 24.
Yeah,
in
the
tunnel.
Subway Series. Dude,
Subway
I was
Series, yeah,
literally,
yeah.
I was actually pissed off that I paid money to go there.
Yeah.
Like hotels, drive, all that shit.
Oh, Dave was mad in the parking lot after the game.
I was pissed off.
Yeah,
Like
I snapped
this-
my gun in half.
It was,
Yeah, you
that's
did.
right. That's right. You
In the rain.
That's right. They like paused the game because somebody
Yeah.
got tagged in the eye with a fucking tag or some shit. But
I
I
mean-
mean,
And
and,
like-
that shit happens. Like I'm okay with that. But like,
We ran into a stalemate, and
That's
then
what
we
it
were
was.
told
it was
to
a
stop
fucking
pushing.
John Liu game, dude. Like it turned
Yeah.
into a fucking
Yeah.
airsoft game so
Yeah.
quickly,
Yeah.
and it's silly to think. My opinion. It's silly to think as an event producer that anybody's going to give a shit about the fucking woods around the town.
Correct. It's all town.
Yeah, it might be
Yeah.
1,000 acres or whatever
It's
the fuck.
not.
it is. Nobody fucking gives a
But when
fuck
you're
about
in
the fucking woods.
CQB,
Guardian's
surrounding
like
town.
400
That's what it's all
acres
about.
at
If you're going
most.
to go to Guardian, you want that fucking 7-story building.
100%.
You know what I mean? And so
I think Austin would really care about the woods around the town.
No.
I think
No.
Austin's play style.
No,
No.
Austin would
You
love
gotta
the
sh-
7-story building at Guardian where
Yeah,
you
you
get
go
a
up top
400
and
foot
you just,
shot.
yeah.
yeah, if you defeat the
Seriously,
70
yeah.
fucking airsoft
Yeah.
dude.
And
Either
he's
way,
even more protected because all the windows at Guardian Center now have that netting over them, so you can't even fire tags through them.
Oh,
you
that
can't
was
throw
like-
grenades through the
yeah,
windows
that was
because they
like-
just have a netting. It's
Ew.
big enough for you to put your barrel up to and shoot through, but it's not big enough to land a grenade through. We tried.
Honestly, as a producer, to go to that place and see the netting up and to see the AO and to sell 800 tickets,
No.
Yeah.
My hot take is that the best
Yeah.
MSW games are the ones in the woods.
I want to play another game
Yeah.
where you and Grimnir collab on it.
Well, that was after Crossroads.
all right. So
Yeah.
after Crossroads, we had the most stressful time of my life.
Yeah.
Fucking Benghazi down at Panthera.
Bengoozle.
That was a year in the making. We actually made money on that, believe it or not. I thought we weren't. It wasn't a lot of money.
To be fair, this
We-
preface
we
with
were
a
in the black,
conversation
but-
between you guys going, we are okay with taking a loss.
Oh,
in this
sure.
because this game is worth it.
Oh,
Sure.
sure, dude. I think
Sure.
in January, I can't remember when I went down there.
Airsoft.
Well, I shouldn't dox them.
Nah, don't let's do that.
Yeah. So I drove down to where they live and we had a little conversation. And I was like, look, man, if we're going to do this, let's do it. And, I'm totally okay. Zulu's okay, totally with taking a loss with this. And we actually didn't, which thank God, right? It wasn't much, I don't have a new swimming pool, you know what I mean? But we were in the
That game
black.
was awesome.
We were in the black. And that game is right up there with the deployment.
That only happened once.
Yeah. The
And that was a
deployment
good game.
is a unicorn
Yeah.
game, right people, right time, that type of thing. That Benghazi game functioned with respect to a couple Op4 players who couldn't put it in their mind that this wasn't a Milsom West insurgency. With regards to that, the game ran fucking great, dude. Now, I will say this. I don't think Panthera is the best AO for that. But with what we did, I had GRS guys coming up to me. My favorite quote of the entire fucking op, it was like Saturday late afternoon. One of the GRS guys came up and he was just like, I haven't fired a shot this entire time, but this has been the best op I've ever been to.
You imagine that? 100%. You're winning at that point.
Well, because the whole thing was creating the tension.
Yeah,
It was creating
a build up.
just creating that
To
tension.
be fair, the part 1 of the Benghazi video is an hour long, and there's not a single BB fired.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, when does that come out, by the way?
Well, did you watch the one I sent you?
I did a little
Okay.
bit.
So if we have another powwow and you want any more critiques, then I have to change that. But if not,
Nah, send it out.
Friday,
Sure.
or we can schedule for Wednesday.
Friday.
So
Today's-
probably by the time
today's
this
Saturday.
podcast is out, the video.
Actually, yeah, never
part
mind.
one
It
will
wouldn't be
already
Friday
out.
because this will probably be
Send it out
by
Monday.
Friday.
Why not?
Yeah, we'll build some hype behind it. Say the first part of the video is coming up, and then
Get it out.
a little bit of time to get the second one polished.
I mean, we did this in August, right?
I know
Benghazi was so fun.
that video was a lot of work.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
That was a dope
That
op.
was.
Totally. So you were GRS.
GRS.
I
You played
lost
GRS.
myself at that.
For the first time in 6 years,
Yeah.
it was GRS. I usually always did the Op 4 shit because at Zulu I knew how to control the Op 4 to get it done. But Ian from Grimnir had always done kind of, in my opinion, the bad guy team for their
Okay.
events, so he kind of
Yeah.
knew how to like talk to those
Yeah.
people, and he did a great job.
Yeah, I personally work with Ian along with Ronnie.
Yep,
Shout out to Manager Ronald.
management, baby.
And I went very minimalist. I just, on top of the things that I had to do to get there that time. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Got there, and
Ugh.
we had a blast on Op 4, and I try to even express to some of the Op 4 players because they were like, "Oh man, we finally got to the point where we're fighting against GRS, and we're like, we don't stand like a fighting chance." And I was just like, "Yeah, well, if you know the reality of the story and the movie, if you watch the movie, stand there, just pause there, or the reality is like, bro, it's an attrition, it's 100%, and we're supposed to get dogged here, and if hey man, if we just run across this open field and get across there, good for you, man. Like,
I mean, think about the reality of it. Nobody made it inside the compound.
correct, which is why I think Panthera is a good. Sure. Okay. Yeah.
For an airsoft event, I don't think it's a good representation.
Okay.
I feel like
Would
I
we
feel
do
like
it again home?
We can't do another Benghazi at the
No.
field.
Why? Because of pyro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
with current ATF shit. But
Yeah. Shout out to the ATF.
And
Yeah.
Twice
noise.
on the
Thanks.
weekend. And
If
during
if
my
you're an
normal
ATF and you're
job.
watching this, tell
Oh.
your wife's boyfriend that I said hi.
oh, eat my ass.
guys, I okay. Full
That better not
disclaimer:
be bleeped out.
nothing that they
You
said
gotta
has
keep
to
that.
do with me.
Oh, it's getting kept.
I love you guys because I have to work with them. So
Yo, fuck the ATF. So we would do, and I haven't talked to Grimnir about this because obviously we did that in partnership, and so this is just me talking out of my ass right now. I don't. If we were limited to Panthera, because keep in mind, Grimnir is the only airsoft production company that's allowed to do games at Panthera.
really,
It's exclusive right
to
now.
them.
Well, because all the other people who have done shit there have fucked up.
Okay.
So, or that's how it was told to me. But I don't know if the Benghazi timeline is good for that AO. Now, if we got who's in Mississippi,
Cam Shelby.
Shelby.
Cam
Shelby
is the perfect AO for that.
Shelby is a dope because the compound was in a city. It wasn't just out by itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like you put that compound in a city where now Op 4 can hide in buildings and still be in BB range, like that changes the fucking game. Because I don't feel like GRS was ever really challenged until the sun came up on Sunday.
There wasn't that pressure.
The
Yeah.
night portion,
Right.
Well, also when Al Sharia basically gave up. Like they didn't attack. Like
Well, the other thing too is so that back right corner. I'm forgetting cardinal direction, so I'm calling it that. Where we had the pyro setup, we were just like, "Hey, look, that's out of play," and players were like, "Oh, why?"
Oh, the track,
yeah, the track.
because there's shit that will kill you.
Yeah.
Like,
So
you can't
because
go-
of that, we've now limited the players for avenues of approach to coming across that bridge. Because if you went to the left or the right of that bridge, it's a stream, creek, like it was just
Correct.
a swamp.
yeah, but
Correct,
nobody
it was.
got their feet wet. Like, dude, how
That's
many
the point.
how many Milson West have we been there where you just get your feet wet, you jump the fucking barbed wire?
Every
I-
one of them.
Dude, I totally expected. Like, so there was the one gate coming
Yeah.
in. Op 4 was coming through that gate. I was like, why? Just
Right.
jump the fence. We didn't say you couldn't jump the fucking fence. Like, just jump the fence.
So because of that, now they're limiting themselves in that area to just crossing that bridge.
Oh,
And
it's
then-
a
or
funnel, dude.
crossing no man's land in the parking lot. So
That's
now,
what I mean in the parking lot.
Yeah. So you're just kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Like, you've limited it to 2 avenues of approach. So I could see why they got frustrated and like tired of doing it over and over and over and over again.
Sure.
You got to think outside the box.
Which is also why
Yeah.
Camp Shelby would be an amazing AO for us because those
dude, they could
buildings
get
are
up
so close.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can
There's
be
a
pretty
perfect
fucking
spot
bad.
to set up like a green zone
Yeah.
area. And GRS would have their compound, but there's other buildings well within BB gun range. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like 5 stories.
Yeah,
Camp
dude.
Shelby would be perfect.
So something to look forward to.
Maybe, right? Like, I don't know if we're going to get Camp Shelby, but I
problem-
don't think we'll do the GRS timeline again at Panthera.
Sure. Okay.
We may do other things there that are more in the realistic theme of things, kind of like the deployment was, but maybe not Benghazi.
Okay.
It ran well.
Yeah.
And to be honest
I
with
thought
you,
it did. I thought.
oh, dude,
It
and
was
to be
a
honest
great
with
As
you,
a player and associating along with and working specifically with Ian because he was part of.
Yeah.
It,
I think it
had a cool
ran.
time.
I think it ran the best that it could have.
Okay.
I have no complaints about it. The players did well. GRS players did fucking excellent. We treated everybody with respect and fucking treated them as adults. And the vehicles worked out okay. And, like everything ran as it should. We had the blank fire was fucking amazing. Like everything
Yeah.
ran well. I just think it could be better. So I think we could do something better with a different sort of storyline. That's all.
And I like that, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody
Improve.
watching now, hey, next time we drop
We're just trying to
Benghazi,
improve.
yeah, 100%.
Next time we
100%.
drop Benghazi, it's going to be because the terrain suits it.
Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
So, I mean, I wouldn't get
hope so.
discouraged if we don't drop Benghazi, right? Because the whole reason why I didn't do Benghazi at Zulu is because we would have had to pull it back. And I always said we're never going to do a Benghazi unless it's better than the last one.
Oh yeah,
And I feel like this one was
Yeah.
better than the last one we did
It
at Zulu,
was,
yeah.
like, even though the cops are called and all that stuff. So I'll never do another Benghazi unless it's better than that one.
I like it.
And the only thing that can make it better than that one is better terrain.
Okay.
Like let Op 4 get close, dude.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I really wanted Op 4 to take over because of their numerical superiority, right? Fucking Rich with his goddamn tags though, that didn't fucking help.
It's 300 tag rounds.
He shot like 200.
He shot 200, but he brought with him 300. And they,
Good for him.
because GRS had the setup time on Friday night and Saturday morning, they were using a rangefinder and colored flags, and they were walking out around the GRS compound, just ranging it out, going, okay, cool, that's the marker, because he had the IR 203 gun sight on
Yes.
his ML36.
Yeah,
So he
Yeah,
was able
yeah.
to be like, oh, he's there, it's this range, dial it in, boop, tag round right on top of your head.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
That was such a cool mod. I mean, so as GRS, we were even told, hey, if you see a flag on the ground, rip it off.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Right?
Op 4 was telling people to do
just
that? Yeah.
rip it out of the ground. And then like very quickly I was like, hey man, so we're all rocking our our Op 4 patches. And I was like, what are the odds that those are IR?
No, I didn't
They
do
weren't.
that. I didn't do that.
No?
No,
I
the
didn't do
GRS ones were IR reflective, but the Op 4 ones were not.
it. I thought about it just for the cool factor, and
Sure.
I was like, wait a minute.
So just again, cool factor of the game. Like as players playing against other players, we're just like, yo, like factor that in. Rip
No,
it off.
I
We
didn't do
ripped
that.
it off. We're ripping flags out of the ground. We're low crawling.
The flags
in
were
and-
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're just denying GRS the terrain at that point because they don't know anymore what that marker was.
You know what's funny about Benghazi? One of the Discord servers that I'm in, I heard a critique about it that we had about AMS.
Oh, really?
It was about the bathroom situation.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And somebody was like I had a shit in the woods, and like, no, I think he said he held it or whatever. And he he seemed upset that he had a shit in the woods. And my response to him, and I was like, look, this is just my take on it, right? This doesn't reflect anybody else's views on it. But I was like, it's a 40-hour event, like shit in the woods.
But that was also,
and he was like, that's not an acceptable response.
well, but it was also a
like,
staff.
Have you been to a Milson
miscommunication.
West? Like
So up at the classrooms.
the classrooms were open. Yeah.
Right. They were, but they weren't.
No, they were.
Because
The side door was unlocked.
one of the Grimnir guys went in and he was like, oh, this is unlocked. And he wasn't told. And he was like, this shouldn't be unlocked. And he locked it.
He locked the front door.
The only porta potty was in the GRS compound.
Nice.
Not true.
Really?
Yeah, not true.
There was another one somewhere on the road.
The classrooms were open. So somebody locked the front door where you go in and like register. The side door is open. That should have been communicated. Because we figured that out very early on.
Are you talking about the classroom at the GRS compound?
No,
Okay, because I was going to say
No,
the one
class-
where they were doing.
registration.
where
right.
everybody registered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody locked the front door. Side door is open.
Yeah, that I don't think that was communicated.
Okay, so
No,
that
it
that should have been
wasn't.
communicated.
Because somebody came up to me and complained about it, and I was like, "Wait, the classroom should be unlocked." I was told specifically they would be, so you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
could use the bathroom.
I mean, we definitely let a couple
Yeah.
four use the bathroom.
Yeah, because we had that
Down
like
there.
Saturday afternoon in the GRS compound. They came
Yeah.
down, and we were like, "Yeah, just go use the bathroom. It's right there."
There was also up at the shoot house.
There was, yeah.
There was.
There was
yeah.
two porta johns. They were
Correct.
in rough shape, to be honest with you. Like
They
I
wasn't
used
shit
one.
Lannis, but they were in rough shape.
No, they weren't shit Lannis. They were just like, it was like the porta johns got cleaned a month ago, and then one person took a shit a month minus 1 day ago, and it just never got cleaned out. So like,
dude.
because I actually used them, and I was like, it's bad, but it's not like, I mean, it's a porta john. What do you fucking
Yeah,
expect?
yeah, right.
You know
Right.
what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the classroom should have been open. The classroom was open. It just
Wasn't
it didn't
communicated
get
to everybody.
communicated that and that's on us. That's on us, right? And that's a critique. That's a legit critique.
Yeah.
But saying that it's not,
He said my take on it was not an acceptable response.
it's
that's-
not an acceptable
I think, like,
expectation either. So.
this wasn't like this was set out to be a 40-hour like Milsim
Right. You know what you're getting
event. So it wasn't like and
Also, it really
the-
takes asking two questions, right? Hey, where do we take a shit? I don't know. Ask somebody in charge. Okay, cool. Somebody in charge. Where are we taking a shit? Cool. I'll figure that out for you. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
that's all
right,
it takes.
Right. Yeah.
yeah. Another critique that I heard was the same Discord. I think like only a couple people in this Discord were at Benghazi. They missed out on a lot of the cool storyline events.
Yeah.
like the gun deal or whatever. Either because they didn't hear about it or they didn't get a lift to it. Because like the AO was big, and because of like the sequence, the time allotted for this, like you get on the car, you do this thing. By the time somebody walks there following the cars, it's
already-
over
yeah,
and
it's already
everybody's
done.
pulling
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So they
sure.
they missed some like timeline things.
Again,
And,
I
yeah.
walked everywhere that whole entire week.
It was a big
I
AO.
walked. Yeah.
At night, it was really hard to navigate. I ate shit. So the night raid, the big night raid, right? I was walking down from the Al Sharia camp, and I thought, we don't have nods, we're on off 4, so I'm like using my white light sparingly, trying to move. And I thought there was ground there, and I just fell into this fucking hole. Like it was like waist deep, and it hurt, and I'm like my feet were wet, and I was like, oh, like it's one of those lands where like your knees buckle. Like,
So-
yeah.
It's part of the
A
experience.
cool thing about that was the fact that we were using that app. What was that app that allowed?
Dragon Force.
Dragon Force, right? So again, shout out to manager Ronald. Ronnie had his white light.
Yeah.
And shit, I thought, I had everything. I didn't have a white light. I didn't have a gun mounted light. So I'm counting on Ronnie to white light the situation everywhere. And Ronnie's like, hey man, I'm like on 10% battery and it's Saturday. No, we started playing Friday.
Yeah.
Friday. He's like, I'm on 10% battery. And I'm like, well, bruh, right?
Yeah.
Because like we've got a whole other day to go play this and we're going to run into another night, for. So the application really helped out a lot.
Yeah.
With live time, just looking down and we thought we went into some people's backyards and we backed out of the backyards. We both got up to ankles deep water. We trudged through some very thick brush and Ronnie's like, he must be half Navajo because he looked down on the ground where I saw blades of grass, and he was like, Jojo, people walk through here. And I'm sitting there like, cool, man. Like, I'm following you. Let's go. And then we walked into like Smiggy was like 100, like so far away with a red light on. He goes, Ronnie, Jojo, is that you? And I'm like, yeah. All right, cool. All right. We're just, got it. So,
You're just along for the ride.
I was like Ronnie's backpack that weekend.
It was really cool though, from a GRS standpoint, because I mean, we were really worried about pulling this game out for 40 hours, right? Like, I know how Benghazi works for 13 hours. I can pack shit into 13 hours, right? But 40 hours is a long fucking time, and we just wanted to make sure that nobody on Op 4 was bored.
I had too much fun.
Well,
I completely lost my fucking soul during this game.
well, but I think the
I was not me.
I think that honestly, it doesn't run well as a 40-hour because everybody wants to fight GRS. That's just how it is. And we incorporated a faction war just to give Op 4 time to kind of acclimate and get their natural night vision going and understand the terrain and fight each other a little bit and give them something to do. But honestly, by the time it rolled around where both the factions combined and then we're going to attack the GRS, like, everybody was fucking tired. And then at the AAR, somebody's like, oh, Op 4, not enough to do. Like, really? Not enough to do? You guys couldn't even muster together fucking 10 dudes to come, like, attack this shit.
Right, yeah.
Right? Like, so I don't know that, this is my personal opinion, right? I don't know that Benghazi is a 40-hour event.
It's
24?
13 hours.
24 hours?
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. 40 hours? Nah.
Too
40
much.
hours for GRS was fun because it was like, it was the tension. It was driving down those dusty fucking roads at night, through nods and fucking dust kicking up. And, oh shit, we got a checkpoint here. And the Op 4 players did such a great job with the checkpoint. Both of them, Sharia and with respect to some idiots who were like jumping out in front of cars and shit, which is the dumbest shit I could ever fucking imagine. And we talked to them. We're like, hey, stupid. Like, this is fucking Airsoft.
That's
like,
a car.
You're
human.
Yeah, but at Milson West, this ain't it, buddy.
Right.
Like save your cola and fucking move on, But other than that, like Op 4 did a fucking fantastic job with that shit.
Every video with Smiggy in it is gold. Smiggy did such a good job, like LARPing really hard.
Isn't Smiggy the one with the bad grenade throw? Was that Smiggy?
Bad grenade.
No.
That was one of
looks
Eric's
just like
guys.
it. Yeah, it looks just like
Smiggy is during the Jumbo part.
Jumbo.
He's
With
the one
revolver.
I handed him the revolver. Like, you need this.
Yeah, where he's the one yelling at Max and the GRS dudes to give me the money.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Because Smiggy also had like 5 costume changes that entire event. Every time I saw
That's a
him,
Smiggy
he was
thing.
wearing something different.
Yeah.
Just for the gram.
That's awesome.
All right, so let's move on from Benghazi because I
Yeah.
really want to get Max and Ian on here, and we'll do
We'll do a full one.
like a full deep dive. So, what was after Benghazi? I think we can't. Oh no, KWA.
We had KWA.
Well, you
Tactical
canceled
League.
Blood Diamond. When
Yeah,
was
but
Blood
that was-
Diamond?
Well, sure, but that's after that.
But
But
Tactical League was first. That was in late September. That was the one where it just rained all day.
I honestly think that the last podcast with
Mike,
that's the rundown on how that went. That was
a really good
that
episode.
was a really cool game from what I've heard.
KWA event? Or
The KWA League.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
system they were using for the flags and the respawn. And
Yeah, so they
counting
used the-
tickets and scoring points was
they use the system where they have these boxes, right? So
Skirmish.
exchange our flag points
red,
to these
yellow,
little boxes, right?
Yeah.
And all the players had these wristbands that were just like RFID, and that's how you would capture a point,
Yeah.
right? Players loved it. It's a good idea. I looked into skirmish, talked back and forth with skirmish. Just, it's not for us right now, but it might be in the future, depending on how they do their things. But Mike from KWA Tactical League and all that stuff, they did a fantastic job, and players actually really enjoyed that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
they
was
had a
another
good time.
game that was surprisingly like a lot of good feedback.
Yeah,
Wilson
they're-
Peanut really liked it.
Well, Milsapita, fucking shout out
Shout
to
out.
that guy. Actually, they're coming back again.
Almost time for the Zulu 2024 schedule.
Oh, it's already Zulu 24 schedule is already like well in advance here.
Zulu 2024.
2024, yeah.
Yeah.
July 24, 2024.
It's it'll be the greatest. It'll be the greatest thing
Ever.
Yeah. Hold on, I have the date right here. That's why I went. Saturday the 4th.
of
May 4th.
Oh, May game.
May the 4th.
May
be with
the
you?
May the 4th
On
be
that
with you.
door?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
No lightsabers allowed.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Rubber
Oh,
or
yeah.
foam training knife, not sword.
Yeah, they're gonna come back May 4th and do the thing. Mike from KWA Tactical League is fucking awesome.
So around May, we'll have Mike on the podcast again.
Yeah, definitely, dude. He's a good dude.
Cool.
And then after that, man, the schedule just kind of petered out.
I'm upset about Blood Diamond, and I'm not the only one.
Well, here's the thing,
And
man.
I know why you canceled it, but I disagree.
Why?
So-
Let's get the why.
You canceled it because you don't want to run the same event again. But
It's consistently good.
Well,
it
that
is
wasn't
consistently
entirely
good.
it.
There are people that would pay to play that event again.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
Yeah, but Disney World is the same experience. Would you pay fucking
I
$100?
Yes.
Go to Disney
Yes.
dozens of times.
You're
I know,
silly.
heard a
because-
lot
silly.
of people say that.
I'm a big Disney
You're
fan. I
silly.
love it.
Yeah,
no,
but
because
why?
Disney houses a
Airsoft.
profile ring. Zulu doesn't.
No.
Oh, that's getting
Yeah,
blatant.
but
That's getting blatant.
so the reason why you go back to Disney is because you feel like you haven't seen something.
You can play Blood Diamond 5 times.
No.
And have a different experience every time.
Somebody may
No.
have been civilian for 1 year,
Right.
wants to go back and
No.
play another team another year.
Okay, so it's good
And
for
now
3
if you
years.
do Blood Diamond,
So it's good
So
for
it's
3
good
years.
for
Well, no,
3
you do
years.
it,
That-
but-
yeah, okay, correct. Because
but
you swat. You
also
switch your-
incorporate the
right.
mortars, also incorporate the new things on the
Yeah, you
field
get to
change. And
experiment.
it's such a fun
And what about the
game.
new players? Like,
Sure.
I've been here
Yeah.
2.5 years.
Sure.
playing-
What about-
playing
I want to talk about
What about
the players.
Lion's Claw?
So there's two things to kind of
All of those
acknowledge.
things that you just said apply to that.
I think there's a different level of effort
No.
that goes.
No,
I think
not.
there's nothing wrong because like what happened.
There's
in
a
its
need
place.
for it.
I think if something else happened in its place, it'd be like, yeah. But there are some players that were let down that they could do it again, and I was one of them.
I think
Well-
it's from a player point of view, can certainly appreciate the message of, hey, look, like I don't want to take your money and do the same thing every year.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
And I appreciate that as well. Correct.
However,
Yeah, yeah.
also from a player point of view, it's clear that a lot of effort went into that.
Yeah.
Whether it was 4, 5, 6, however many years ago, a lot of effort went into that. There are still things that you can do to freshen it up.
Sure.
But it's a great. I can consistently look forward to it every year, almost like I look forward to those videos every month.
Hold on.
Had
So-
had to.
So Blood Diamond last year was simply a result of, and this is me dropping the ball, 100%. So we haven't done about Blood Diamond in 2 years. The first year I was just like, it's the same fucking thing. I don't want to be that guy that just takes your money and fucking capture flags all day.
Respect.
Yeah. Last year was, I put so much time, effort, money into ensuring that Benghazi went well logistically that I completely dropped the ball with Blood Diamond because Benghazi happened in August, Blood Diamond October,
Okay.
and it sounds like a lot of time. Oh, you had a month. You had a, no.
No, that's right.
You need 3 months to put something together because the tickets need to go on sale the day after Benghazi. You know,
production.
and I didn't have it in me, dude. I just did not have it in me. I wasn't 100% on Max and Ian being fucking leaders. Leaders are critical.
Yeah.
I almost want to do like a Zulu training camp fucking leadership course.
Yeah.
And if you do well, then you can be the leader. Like, because good leaders make the game. Like, I can write whatever I want into. I could write the perfect game, but if I don't have the leadership on each time to motivate and to pull people back when they need to,
Right.
push people forward
Right.
when they need to, then the game is shit. And that's a critical point. And Max and Ian are fucking phenomenal. At that.
And to nail that down, we mentioned earlier how good of a op Crossroads was.
Yeah,
And,
because it was balls hot.
and it was a good game, right? Balls hot.
Balls hot.
We had blank fire.
Yeah,
We went on patrols.
yeah.
But can I drop his name? I don't know.
Who?
Sure. I mean, I don't know where he's at in life, Mr.
You can mention
Mr. BP,
Mr. What?
Mr. Brown.
Airsoft.
You know.
Oh, he's talking about the
Oh.
deployment.
Yeah.
Oh,
the deployment. I'm sorry. What did I say?
You said
were talking about
Crossroads.
Crossroads.
Crossroads. Back rewind. Right. So, right. So we like
And I will
right. So
believe that name.
back to disclaimer. So
We'll call him BP from
Crossroads.
Yeah.
Right. That was like one of
Who?
our unicorns.
Who?
Crossroads.
Who?
Blood Diamond.
Right.
Fuck. You got me
No,
doing it now.
deployment.
Deployment.
Oh
the
my
deployment.
god! All right. So we'll rewind it.
Can we flip that?
Bad
and just, like,
blood.
play
So
it?
right back
I
to
love
the deployment was
Yeah.
one of our like unicorn games. We ran it once, ran well, but back to like having good, leadership roles.
Yeah.
Are Are we bleeping his name?
BP.
Right.
Yeah,
So
just
Mr.
say
BP.
Mr.
Yeah,
BP.
we had Mr. BP. He was Nick, myself. He was our squad leader.
Yeah.
And sure, when you sign up for a leadership role, you have, with everything that comes with it, you have to be about it. It's the best way that I could say it.
Yeah.
And he kind of came with it, and it was like, well, what do you guys want to do?
Yeah,
and we're
you
like,
lost it.
no,
Yeah, you lost it.
like, brother, we're nerds, we're airsofting, but you're the man right now.
We're playing
Be
a
the
role.
man.
Yeah.
Play the role of that man, and we're gonna have a great time.
Yeah,
Again, thank God that op went well, but it also went well because good things happen to bad.
So
silly people.
So that particular
And
person.
something happened to him while he was napping.
Yeah, that was odd.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
How do I describe his injury while he was napping?
He
Yeah,
dislocated his shoulder while he was
He got
asleep.
injured while he was napping. We'll move on.
Yeah. He
While napping.
yes. Oh man, it's like balsa wood. If you look at it wrong, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Anyway,
Airsoft.
Leadership roles are important.
yeah, leadership roles are important,
Which is why
and
Crossroads.
did very well. Yeah, Max
Yeah.
and Ian did fucking amazing,
Yeah.
dude. And at the end of that game, they were both like dead, like dehydrated. Fucking like they put as much effort into it as they would put in their own games, and I appreciate that. And
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
oh man. And they had good critiques at the end of the game for me as a producer standpoint,
Mhm.
and it was great. And they fucking did a great job.
If you sign up for a leadership role, own it.
Yeah. You have to. You've got to drink the Kool-Aid. You have to drink the
100%.
Kool-Aid.
You got to get the Kool-Aid on your lip while your man bun is being held back as you're being folded onto your lap.
That's right. That's
You
right.
orange flavored motherfucker.
You got to sit in your own lap. You know what I mean?
But all of those compounding reasons caused Blood Diamond to not happen this year.
Okay.
Yes, mostly
Good to know,
because I
yeah.
put so much effort into Benghazi this year. Because
And then Grimnir canceled.
Arclight for the same reason.
no, it wasn't Arclight. It was
Anthropos.
Or not
Anthropos
Arclight,
3.
Anthropos,
yeah.
And they canceled because of the same reasons why I canceled Blood Diamond 2 years ago. Because it was just like, it's the same game. And after, dude, Benghazi was such an eye-opener for both of us as producers. Like, holy shit, like, we can really push the envelope and the players like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was we had discussions there, which I won't get into, but it really just opened up our eyes to like, hey, like all these other producers are doing this thing. We did this thing, and this thing feels right. And I'm talking about all the producers.
Yeah.
Lump them all together. And so if we can make a tailored scenario that's good and that's like engaging more so than just your trigger and your safety, but also your brain. And putting you in tension situations and neat AOs and neat scenarios, and we can do just as well as the people who are just like, yeah, we simulate military and yell at you and berate you in your fucking comments section, and also it's 40 hours fucking camping and you shoot every once in a while, like we can do just as well as they can,
Even better.
and so it really,
Yeah.
so it's hard to go from that to a capture the flag game,
Right.
and so I understand why they canceled that. Yeah.
So what do we if no? So Blood Diamond canceled, right? So was that up? What do we have to look forward to?
So I've already started putting so I'm actually going to do write it down.
Austin's
Great
a
question.
co-host.
Great question.
So I'm actually going to I've actually moved, it's actually already up on the website. I've moved Blood Diamond to the beginning of the year next year. So it's going to be in May.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah. Because it's been 2 years. I was like, I got to give the people what they want. You know what I mean? So I'm going to take this holiday season and basically what I consider my off season and refine that so that it's there and done. And I think I did Crossroads late in the season, and I left the middle open for whatever we decide to do.
Something new and spicy.
Yeah. Yeah. So like whatever's going to happen June, July, August, that time frame is going to be different. It's not going to be pull the trigger as fast as you can
Ooh,
at the
Yeah.
guy wearing tan.
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You're right. The schedule is on the website. Blood
Yeah.
Diamond is May 18th, 2024.
Yep.
And Crossroads is October 12th, 2024.
So I moved
No,
everything
we're good
around
to
so
go
that
already. Yeah.
Wow. This is like the earliest scheduled drop you've ever done.
Yeah, I usually wait till February. Actually, stuff's still happening.
Yeah.
I just figured, like, look, I got some spare time. I might as well fucking do this shit.
How many of those awesome Tracer BB night games are we doing next year?
Oh, night games.
Oh, they're already there.
Night games.
I think the
7.
I think the experiments with night games this year has come
Hold on,
to-
real quick.
Yeah.
I got to piss.
Yeah.
All right,
send it.
break number 2.
Ready? Pause.
That's fucking
Right?
amazing.
That's good.
I just want to know what you thought I was reading.
Huh?
What did I think you were reading?
Yeah.
Come on, notes.
He wants to know if Jordan's. Oh, sorry, recording.
Oh,
He wants to know if Jordan's recording.
can't even read his own handwriting.
And that was
Now
was
she
fucking
says she
chicken scratch
hates
over
me.
here.
Has a grudge for 27 years.
She fucking hates
Plays for
me.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
No.
that's amazing.
Yeah. He's got
All right.
So, night game.
Yeah, welcome
Yeah.
back from the break, everybody. We got off topic there, hardcore. Shit, I think my hat's on backwards now. Shit.
Yeah, things are changing.
Yeah. There's a lot going on.
That-
Just
Night
saying.
games. I think we found a good jive for the night games because beginning of the year you're playing with. Should we have tracers only?
Just
Should
tracers.
night
No,
vision not be allowed? Should there be this or that? And
Thermals.
Wait. But the beginning of the year, did we do no
Just
night
tracers.
vision?
No night
It was
We
no night
did.
vision, just tracers.
Yeah, we did one
Yeah.
night game in the beginning of the year. There was no night vision.
Yo, I'll be
Tracers
honest, man.
required.
Like the no night vision tracer games I played.
Wild.
Oh man, they're good.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
good.
Especially when there's a
good.
decent amount of people.
Oh, they're good.
There was like 80 or 90
It was like
people.
80 people for
Yeah.
that. Oh,
That was it.
so good, dude. It was so good.
Cool to watch, too.
Oh,
It
dude.
was.
I played one
Yeah.
game and then watched
Yeah.
the rest. It was so fucking awesome. But I will say this, right? Because night vision is just a part of Airsoft now. It's just the way it is. And so including that was fine as long as everybody used tracer units.
Tracers, right.
I feel like it was a good balance. It's still a good balance. And I feel like it's a good formula, man. Like, obviously numbers dropped a little bit when you go from no NVGs, everybody's got tracer units because everybody feels like they're on the same
Right. Same level of playing field.
which isn't
Right.
true, but it is in their minds. And then jumping to that, obviously, it's going to be a drop because people are like, well, I don't have night vision or whatever. But then it kind of steadied out throughout the course of the year. It kind of
Yeah.
steadied out, and actually, our numbers for night games were better with this. With the NVGs, but everybody has to have trace units. The average of nighttime players went up as compared to when we used to do NVG night games versus no NVG night
Right.
games. So no NVG night games would have a ton of players. NVG night games would have like zero players
Limited number.
because
Yeah.
everybody without night vision was like, I'll just wait for the next one.
Sure,
But now that
sure.
everybody has to play together, like it just averaged out, but it averaged out at a higher level. And I feel like the comfortability of somebody without night vision playing at night, but everybody has to have tracer units, I think it's kind of balancing out.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can't give and
They're not
people
just
are,
this ghost in the shadows.
yeah, and
Right.
like people are starting to actually get the cool stuff, like the tracer units that have the muzzle flash, because it doesn't
Awesome,
matter
yeah.
well, it doesn't
Right.
matter
They're
anyway.
awesome.
As soon as you fire, even guys with night vision use the muzzle flash because it's just cooler.
Right.
That-
Sure,
that's what I use. It's
100%.
awesome.
It looks
Oh, I do too.
really cool.
Totally about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as
Yeah.
soon as you shoot your positions up anyway.
And from
Yep.
a user standpoint, you get that little flickery or nods from the muzzle flash. And you're like, this is cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool shit, dude. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
and
is.
that's 99% of airsoft is looking cool. And,
Yeah.
and if you can look cool to yourself, that's even better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Such an ego boost.
well, like how many? Like we got some great footage with your Aurora camera and all that stuff. Like with
Oh,
LMG
that's-
gunners, like
oh,
shooting.
that's Sony. Yeah.
dude. You had a great. He got a great video of you.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
your little
yeah.
PP-19 coming out. You
Love
know,
that
doing little
thing.
Shots, dude.
That photo
Super
of you in
cool.
that little hut down by the helicopter is one of my favorite
It's
nighttime
my
photos I've taken.
screensaver at work.
Balancing-
Like, dude, that's
Fuck yeah.
awesome. I'm
Balancing
like,
the
that's
teams.
Airsoft.
Balancing the teams for like night vision users helped. Like the last one that we played, like we're pretty selfish. Like we want to play with the boys.
With the boys, of course.
But when
sure.
the boys
Sure.
for that given night are the majority of people with night vision, we have to
You
split
gotta
up.
split
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we have not only
Yeah.
do we have an unfair advantage with night vision, right? We also have the extreme unfair advantage of field knowledge.
Field knowledge.
It doesn't
Huge.
matter if we
Yeah.
have night vision or not. All of us have played that. We know where every branch, twig, fucking
Mhm.
leaf are.
And you've played it together.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So we don't have to
coordination
We
even.
don't even have to communicate.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
We just
So we just
The
fucking meow each other.
the moment we split up into two teams, we can't meow anymore.
this is true.
It's like dangerous.
Well, it's
This is
also
true.
like Anthony
This
and I
is true.
turned that night game because it was Anthony and I on one team and Jojo and Ronnie on the other.
and
Yeah.
Josh, and like just because he had nods does not mean he was not a key player because this man did not need nods.
He didn't.
Every time I saw him, and we were on opposite teams. He looked like he knew exactly what the fuck he was looking
He
at.
did.
He must eat a lot of carrots or something.
He
Like,
did.
He has
He did.
great eyes, and he moved. Like he flanked all of Mosque using Ho Chi Minh Trail at night. Like
100%.
he died,
100%.
and like he went to respawn, and within like less than 5 minutes, he's like right up behind us, flanked us. He's like in an L building.
without snapping an ankle.
So we have a not right. So 1 nods, 2
Map
unfair
knowledge.
advantage because we have field knowledge.
We
right?
have field
Yeah,
knowledge.
Yeah.
That's unparalleled.
Which is right. Which is a good thing because we split up, and when we went force on force, it just
now it's
evens out the playing field. And how could we get better if we don't play with
Although it turned into
against
us
each other, right?
kind of hunting each other too.
Yeah,
You know,
And-
Sorry,
and
Jojo.
Shout out to you 2 guys, man. I looked at Ronnie. I was like, "Yo, we're getting our asses beat." It's like, if we don't figure something out right now, like this is gonna be it.
Your first attempts that game, you guys kind of got out there in the open, but like, man, like I just wildcarded, just snuck into CQB. So we were using Mosque. If you guys know the field, like CQB is kind of out of play. We're doing a Mosque game, but I was like, I'm just gonna flank around and try to get behind him and get as many safety kills as I can and get back on the roof. And when I was getting into CQB, it looked like to me just you walking down. I was like,
Sure.
Jojo's coming to CQB.
Sure,
He's gonna
right.
walk down the main alley.
Right.
I'm gonna fucking ambush him. So I like get there with my pistol, right? And I was like, I'm gonna get a pistol kill. So see Jojo come by, I shoot him, and I was about to start like an evil villain speech. I was like, Jojo, and then I get fucking lit up by like Ronnie.
Yeah.
And Ronnie's like, there's always 2.
Yeah.
There's always
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, so it's good, right? Right. So
Yeah.
so out of the night game, what we've gathered is night vision, obviously, right? Cool factor, but levels the playing field when if you're not a night vision user, you're getting shot. Everybody's using tracer BBs.
Sure.
So, that direction.
Yeah.
well. Here's the other thing about night vision, right? Is that camouflage still works.
Yeah.
So even though I'm looking through
A blue
white
or
phosphorus,
green
whatever the
eye,
fuck, like
right.
I can pick out movement.
Mhm.
But if you're in concealment, it still works.
Well, I tell this to players all the time, contrast, because we're looking at a screen or a tube that's one color.
yeah,
but-
two max. Yeah,
But
light and
color,
dark, like
but
it's a-
color contrast still matters.
Sure.
So the camo that works during the day works very well at night still against night vision.
Yeah, there's no reason to like put
You
on
see a
black
lot of
camo
dudes.
for the
Yeah, you
nighttime.
see that
Like,
all the time. A lot of
Right.
dudes are like, "I'm going to get multicam black for the nighttime."
No,
Cool.
multicam
You're walking
black is
through
not
the
meta.
woods.
It was
and it's
developed for
now
law
black
enforcement.
on green.
That's it.
Correct.
Yeah, the color
Correct.
contrast is still
Right.
a thing. So if you're wearing a leaf suit at night,
You want to be the same color, the same shade of green as the stuff around you,
Correct.
yeah,
which is the same color.
yeah, like multicam
Yeah.
works really well at night because it still blends
Still
in proper.
multi.
Yeah,
and
like
Right.
that's the thing. You have to mind your color contrast because when looking against night vision, like that is still a thing.
Oh sure, dudes are wearing multicam black at night.
You stick out.
Dude, sore
Hey,
thumb.
bear.
It's a black silhouette against
Yeah.
a white background. You're like, okay, sorry, buddy.
I can see you. And a lot of the lower quality and less expensive airsoft clothing isn't IR treated, so it also looks kind of shiny and reflective.
Oh man,
Oh, that's
stop
huge too.
buying Chinese multicam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that's
like
true.
almost
Stop.
pink. Yeah, stop
yeah.
buying that.
At
Stop.
night. So like even if it might look close to like real multicam, those nylons that they're using are super reflective.
Super.
Just for like players watching that are like
Yeah.
they want to do night stuff and they like it's super reflective. There's some shit that you have.
There's some shit that glows.
There's
Did
some
you know
shit
that I
that
can
you
see
Like
you?
the
Yeah,
$50
because
Amazon
correct.
Cry sets, they glow.
I have
at
a
night.
black North Face jacket. It's like a windbreaker thing. I wore
Oh,
that in my first MSW. That thing is really good at night under nods. Not very reflective, like, and it's warm.
Yeah, but it comes down to the material. And a lot of the USGI surplus stuff is like IR treated, so it won't. But a lot of that cheap Chinese Amazon stuff, it's not. It
Stop
will
buying
reflect.
Emerson fucking multicam, dude.
Well, the new Emerson stuff is actually good. We sell that in the shop.
Dude. You know what's funny is actually Tyler has Cry Ranger Green G3 pants.
Yeah.
And the stretch material, it looks like Tron.
Ooh.
It looks like Tron under night vision.
yes.
I'm just like, wow, you should throw those in the trash because like it looks like it's just the elastic part.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I wonder if
Stretchy.
from washing it.
sure,
it's
if you use
taken away.
starch,
Yeah.
if you use starch
Probably.
anything,
Yeah, probably.
it eye reflects on
That
stuff.
makes sense.
But so now the big thing in the airsoft arms race is thermal.
Oh boy.
Austin
Can't
uses
hide from a thermal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't take my toys away.
I'm in the market, but
I'm in the market as well. So
but
So okay, who plays video games here? We all play video games. Is it more fun to have wall hacks and play video games, or is it more fun to not have wall hacks and play video games?
I'm about no hacks and just playing
Depends
out the
who's
raw
hacking.
game.
Depends on who you ask.
What's more satisfying, I should say, right? Because some people are like, well, I've cheated in video games all day because I'm a fucking trash human being. Like, also, if you cheated in a video game, you are a trash human being. And that's just the truth of the matter.
Don't we know somebody that cheats in video games?
Ooh.
No, that's not me, but I know of
Trash.
someone that I've heard. And
Trash.
I'm like,
Trash human being. Trash human being. So
It's been said.
Kevin, we love you.
love you, buddy.
we're going to say names now.
Love you, buddy.
Kevin, they
Okay.
love you, but not you're cheating.
But here's the thing. I'm not saying that thermals is cheating in airsoft, right? Because there's no rules against it, right? But it gives you the same thing as wall hacks. It gives you the same thing. And because airsoft's engagement distances are so limited, because it's airsoft, right?
Right.
And every day the ATF is like cutting down the things that we can use. So eventually it's just going to be us shooting BB guns until that's illegal too, right?
Yeah.
So having thermals, I played a whole game with thermals, and the whole time I used them, I was like, all the magic of the game went away, and it was just silly because I was just like, oh, they're getting out of their spawn right now. Hey, there's 8 people coming. Okay, they're right here, and they're dead.
Yeah.
Do you think there's value for that in a scouting class? So, for example, like I only snipe. Pretty much everyone at the field knows
Sure,
that.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
there's like, oh, he's
only.
that guy. So in
You're
a
the
night
blue
game,
sweater guy.
it's the blue sweater. Like
It doesn't matter if you can see him because he can hit you. Like,
Correct.
so in a night game, right? So I've got my sniper or DMR. I use the DMR now. Drop it down to a blue tag so that I can actually functionally play in the night game. But with a sniper, like I have 2 roles, right? Pick off somebody that's being problematic that people can't hit at range, or call out information.
so here's the better. So it depends what you're talking about. You're talking about open play. You're talking about an op, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm speaking more in the terms of ops.
Okay.
Right. But in order to cultivate that, I would have to incorporate that into my night game stuff. I think in an op role, here we go. Here's the comments.
Well, yeah, because
Here's the 4 people in the comments exploding, right? Thermal should be allowed to somebody who doesn't have a gun,
Interesting.
who has a radio,
Yeah, that's interesting.
right? Because now
Okay.
it's up to interpretation.
Okay.
It's up to that person knowing the map. If the map has grids, they got to call in the right grids. And it's like it's a game of telephone, which means that there's error that could occur. But if you put everybody with thermals, it's like, oh, there they are.
Day
And
game at that point.
Okay.
yeah, and then
Okay.
put thermals on the other team. Oh, there they are.
So
Like it's akin
Yeah.
to playing on a flat open field with no cover.
It's also like
with a thermal.
there's
you're
also-
saying.
when you're
so
playing
Civil
on a
War shit.
team.
It's like
Okay.
Civil War shit.
Well, when we do a night open play and it's just everybody with nods versus everybody with no nods, it is boring to be on the team with nods.
Oh, sure.
You're just shooting targets.
Well,
That's
and here's
why
the
we
thing.
balance them.
Like we said,
Yeah.
with nods, they can be balanced with tracer units. Also, your camouflage still
Correct.
works.
Good balance.
You
yeah.
can't turn off your fucking heat signature. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the leaf suits do this. That's great. Your
It's
face,
imperfect, yeah.
Your face,
Yeah,
your
it's not a
hands.
perfect
Like,
camo.
Right.
When
Okay.
you look out, it doesn't matter if somebody's wearing a leaf suit. When you look out, you're like, oh, there's a white dot.
You don't know how to slow your heartbeat down so that you're indistinguishable from a corpse?
100%. Right.
There's
This
no
isn't Tark-
airsoft player.
This isn't Tarkov where I can like take a stim and be like, oh, my body temperature is
Hey,
5
hold on.
degrees less.
Next airsoft consumable right there.
Well, so there's also something else to keep in mind with thermals. So I kind of classify it as there's 2 kinds of thermals. There's what Austin and I have, which are medium to long range thermals, where I can see you out to 1,000 yards with no problem.
Oh, because my airsoft gun can shoot
Right, that's the problem.
700 yards.
So there's
Bro, I can hit
also
Church from Connex.
yeah.
he can. There's also what's labeled as CQB thermals. So like the Cody, the Jerry C, the stupid Steiner one that's a red dot, and they only have like little Dave has a Cody. It has 300 feet of range.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And it
That's
hot take,
airsoft.
I think the Cody is trash, but there are a lot of people that have them. So now it's if you implemented that and somebody has that, it's just useless. at
yeah,
this
but
point.
here's the thing, dude. Real world application thermals is the future.
yeah,
It-
Like
100%.
yeah,
in 10 years,
100%.
our military will have dual tube, not night vision thermal.
I
They
think
will.
it'll be both. It'll be
For all we
overlay.
know, they have that.
They don't
right
need
now,
it.
probably.
You don't need night vision if you have perfect thermal.
If you have perfect, yes,
You
but
just
also
don't need
there is no depth perception with most thermals.
That's also true with night vision.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Sure.
The
Here's-
dual tubes just help with adding depth
Nope,
perception.
it's fake. It's fake.
You think so?
Yeah, it's fake.
You
Because
have
you're
that
still
flat-
looking at a
yeah.
screen.
You
It's like
still have the
looking at a
flat
television
plane.
screen with both eyes. It's the same thing. I'm just saying for the sport, recreation, hobby, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't add anything positive to the overall experience. It adds positives to the individual user.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let me
But
challenge you.
okay.
Let me challenge you one thing.
Sure, let's go.
So, thermals.
Yep.
On a bolt action sniper
Okay.
with tracer, with a
Okay.
tracer unit. As soon as I take my first shot to take somebody out,
Sure.
my position's gone.
Sure.
Sure.
Right. That's the
Which
reason why
forces
we-
me
The
to move.
it's more of an intelligence thing. And I don't mean your intelligence, I mean military intelligence, right?
Right.
I would rather see thermals used.
Great note taking.
Yeah. I would rather see thermals used as an intelligence tool than a tactical killing tool.
Advantage? Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it would almost be. I don't even know.
Are we talking open play or ops here? Are we still talking ops?
We're still talking ops, but the way that I would massage the community is through our night games, right? There's an eventuality where Zulu has 2-day long ops, where there is a night portion that goes till 11. Unfortunately, that's just town rules, right?
Right.
And I want to create a community that is tactically proficient without thermals.
Do you
Because
think?
I just feel like thermals are.
See, I see what Dave's getting at, because since the implementation of the tracer units, like what you're getting at, I've had to change the way I use my thermal.
Oh,
because no longer is it just put my clip on in front of my daytime optic and be good.
It's
because
no
you're
longer
not gonna,
God mode.
Yeah, it's no longer
Yeah.
God mode,
Mhm.
because now I've had to transition to using it as an offset optic to where I can see where people are and go, cool, they're over there, and then
Right.
just go back to using my red dot.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
no longer is it I can sit there with my suppressed polar star and take shots at you from 200 feet.
Right.
Right. Right.
And
That
you have no
gets-
idea where I'm shooting from,
Right.
but now I have that tracer unit. So it's like,
It provides that balance.
it provides that feedback for them to see me and go, oh, I'm getting shot at from over here. So I can no longer just hide behind the mask of I have a
Yeah.
thermal and I'm in the shade.
So, Dave, from the tactical point of view,
Yeah.
in ops, I
Sure.
mean, this isn't going to happen in Nike. Well, it could, but in ops, where you have a leadership structure, right? You have someone leading a group, you have someone leading the entire team, such that you have VIP targets, right, to take out whoever's running it, whatever. I think thermal plays a role in that, where you see that group coming, you communicate that with your team, you set up an ambush, and your job as the scout with your bolt action sniper, pick off the high value target.
Sure.
Like
I can
the
see
chickens
it in
run
a
wild.
perfect world. Sure.
Yeah,
It's just I
we
always
are
have
talking airsoft there.
I always have to worry about
Yeah, because we've
how do
seen
you
that.
game that game.
We've
Yeah.
seen that on the small scale, like
Yeah.
the night game where we figured out we could do that with my thermal, that all of us were playing together, Jojo.
Mm-hmm.
And we're moving up that hill, and I quickly transitioned to it. Go, oh shit, there's dudes in the wood line right in front of us,
Right there.
and then we all opened up while we're
That's
moving
right.
up the hill. That's a good use of thermal for
Sure.
the aspect of figuring out where the enemy is, but it's not like what Dave's saying where you're just spawn camping them because you see
I
them coming
think-
out of spawn.
Okay.
There
Yeah,
there is
makes
something
sense.
to be said about thermals being an asset
Yeah.
to the team, not being the common denominator, right? So
So a thermal more in like the combat controller aspect,
or
where you
bolt
just
action,
like, okay,
bolt action
okay.
with tracers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's got to be a
There has to be a trade off.
because this is a game and it's not real life. Because in real life, you're going to take every advantage you can.
always.
In real life, you'll fire, the enemy will never fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
Because they're
'cause
not
you
worried
won.
about the enemy having a good time. Actually, quite the opposite. You want the enemy to have the worst
Not a
time in
good
their
time.
fucking lives, right?
Right.
But this ain't it.
Right.
Airsoft ain't real life. This is a game.
I could see for
This is a
ops,
fucking game, you know?
I could see for ops thermals being limited to one per squad.
No.
Yeah.
Less than that.
Really.
Thermals be limited to 1 or 2 players per team. And that in those 1 or 2 players are the
The scout
recon
class.
element,
Yeah.
scout class, right? Like they are the guys with the bolt actions that, during the day, they're what do we call them? A stay team, right? Surveillance and target acquisition team, right?
I really feel that's something missing in ops. Like there are a few ops out there that advertise like the scout class, like the true experience. Like you probably aren't taking many shots. You'll be lucky if you shoot 10 BBs,
Yeah.
right? Like your job, go out, hide, relay information back, move where I need you to relay information back, right? Like they say that's a class or whatever, but it doesn't typically play like that. I
So
think that's a
so
missing-
ideally, right? So, and we can call them. We'll call them snipers from here on out, right? So snipers really our intelligence. It's long gone are the days of Carlos Hathcock where these low crawling through a fucking field, getting eaten up by fucking ants and shit and taking out a general, right? Because we just don't fight wars that way anyway. In the airsoft community, that should be an option, right? But realistically, your job is to convey information because information is more powerful than your one fucking BB that somebody may or may not call, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so there should be a class that goes out. Maybe they pre-deploy before everybody else. Nobody knows where they're at. Whatever.
Set up a hide,
They've got a radio, and they radio back, and and the information gets passed along. And maybe they have thermals, and that's what they use it for.
Imagine they go out with one mag. You're limited to your one mag.
Well, I don't know if that's necessary, but
Well, it makes you value your shots.
sure. It's also the right type of person that understands that. I mean, as long as like the entire team doesn't have thermals, I'm kind of. I don't think thermals is good for airsoft. To be honest with you, I just don't think that.
It's overkill.
It's turning on wall hacks, dude. It's not good for the sport. To be honest with you, it's not good for the sport in the same way that like having a naval barrage isn't good for the sport. Right, like having a ref just come over and be like,
You're all
Wipe off the whole
all you guys
mosque.
You got hit by an
all you
airstrike.
guys did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Which we've stopped doing because it's such a
because
A
everybody's like,
buzzkill.
everybody's like, what?
What?
yeah.
Like, no.
Missile
Like,
just came down.
like picture a bunch of explosion.
Yeah, no.
You know, it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not good. And honestly, the game that I played where I had thermals, it was just like, it wasn't a great game.
Were you using that thermal with an AEG or something like semi?
Yeah.
Have you personally tried with it with your bolt action?
No. But it didn't matter because the information was more powerful than than any BB that I could shoot.
Sure.
Because I was just like, I literally nope. This was at Panthera. It was an event, a Grimnir event, great event. We had the vehicle with us, and I sat up on top of the vehicle, on top of the racetrack, and I could literally see their spawn through all the tree cover, through everything.
So you're basically a UAV at that point. You
I
just
could see their
everything.
spawn, and I was like, "Hey, 12 guys just got up. They're coming down the road."
I forgot if it was Alex or Jordan, but at that Milsom West, that ball car, one of them saw somebody take a shit through their thermal. It was Alex. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. Like, why wouldn't you want?
You can't
to,
get that quality content without a thermal.
exactly. Like, why wouldn't you want to see that?
That
The
was
s-
also
the steam coming
See the
from that
steaming
turd.
pile.
That was the game where I saw a bunch of white dots in that open field by our PB from like probably 1,000 feet away, and I was like, "There's a bunch of white dots over there." And then we realized that was
And we got schwacked.
All
we realized that's
42
where
GMR.
everyone in our PB had been going over there to take shits all night.
Oh,
so
so
I
it was
was
just
just
a bunch of
seeing the
shit.
steamy pile of shits.
So
That's so bad.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
so
bad.
so that's my take on it. Is thermals are a great tool in the real world.
I mean,
because-
soon enough, the ATF will ban it for civilian use anyway.
And then
So-
what else?
So get your thermals down.
What else this year was going on? Like, there's all the ops, there's the night games, and we're at like the end of the year.
Swap meet, bingo.
Swap meet. I made out really good at the swap meet.
The
So swap
meets
meets are a
always
thing.
Swap
good.
meet was good.
Yeah, they're
Right.
always good times.
Swap meets are always a thing, right?
Yeah.
Just show up, right? Nobody has to pay for a booth or a parking spot. Just show
Yeah.
up, set your setup, and
Do your
and-
thing.
Whatever
Yeah.
Did
happened
we
to-
have an
so-
airsoft expo?
I was
this
going
year?
to say, whatever happened to
we
that?
did not. Yeah,
No, right? Yeah.
Are they still doing that?
unknown.
Yeah. Because that was a good time. Like, people showed up for that.
Yeah.
So I purposely kind of waited this year to see what's going to happen. That
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I'll reach out to some companies.
Do a Zulu Airsoft Expo.
Yeah, but it'll be more focused towards actual companies and less dudes with 3D printers.
Nice.
Sure.
Hey.
Right.
I know a couple retail companies that would want to come for that.
Sure.
Yeah. Or not
Um,
even retail, but I'm talking like gun manufacturers.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Just people, and I wouldn't charge them anything. It would just be
Yeah.
like, hey, come out. and
Show up
Just
Oh,
show
they've-
up.
I've
yeah.
had a couple of our distributors reach out and ask if we were going to do something like that.
like Arcturus.
I might do something
Like
like that.
Specna.
Ooh.
Yeah, because Charlie over at Specna, he used to be the G&G rep. Now he's the Specna Arms rep. He had asked, he's like, hey, been to Zulu a couple times, back when I worked for them. But are you guys doing a day where I could like come out, set up a booth, just meet a couple players, show off
Yeah,
some
yeah.
of the demo guns? And I was like, I will let you know when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm, this year,
Yeah.
I'm again, it's early in the planning stages right now. I'm looking into that.
Yeah.
there's so much on my plate right now. Like,
I know we.
It's a great problem to have.
Hey, but
Great
you were
problem.
nominated for the best outdoor field in the U.S.
Oh, which is
true.
where we go next.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, the Airsoft Awards.
Airsoft
the random
Awards.
Airsoft Awards.
Yeah.
well, first off, it's an honor just to be nominated.
100%.
Yeah,
sure.
that had to be done by players. That
Yeah.
wasn't.
I'll say this: I've never voted in one of them. I never have.
Yeah.
I've never voted in it.
So, right, sure, right. You've never
And I know
voted.
that there's like a nomination for like best airsoft tech, and like I really don't care
even
if I
best
get.
airsoft tech.
I don't
Tech
care
airsoft.
if I get
Just saying.
nominated or what. I don't care.
or even best podcast.
Okay,
That would have been a cool.
Okay.
yeah.
so let's talk about that for a second.
go.
So should we give the elaboration on what exactly is going on?
Yes, because I don't know
Yeah.
the full story.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's a company called RK Airsoft, and they set up what's called the Random Airsoft Awards. And this is the first time I've seen them. I don't know if they've done them in years prior, but they're doing them this year. And there's like 20 categories, but if they didn't get enough submissions, they removed the category.
Oh, we weren't even submitted.
We were
ouch.
nominated for the best outdoor field in the U.S. You can go over to the RK Airsoft website and vote. I'll put the link in the comments as well as in the
Vote.
in the
Link
description.
comments.
Yeah, just head over and vote. I think the other two fields, because there's 3 per category, it's Ballahack,
Oof.
which is in Virginia, and D14 Airsoft, which is in Texas.
Oof, those are strong competitors.
Those are
Yeah,
strong
that's good.
competitors.
That's
I
good.
take that as
That's
a-
good to be
that
part of.
Zulu
like,
is
yeah.
next to those 2 names. That's a win already.
Yeah,
Um,
like D14 is like Gulf Coast.
Airsoft GI owns D14. Actually, I think it's Evike now. It's changed hands.
Really?
Yeah, but
Damn.
it's them and Evike. Those are the other 2 in
And
the category.
Ballahack's got a following like you wouldn't.
Sure,
fucking believe.
right?
Yeah.
Which is why I encourage people, if you're voting and you haven't played, like let's say if you played, let's say Ballahack, but you haven't played at Zulu or you haven't played at D14, like
Try
Go.
and try and
Go.
because we haven't
Go
played at
see what's
D14,
up,
but we've
yeah.
played at Ballahack.
We played
a few-
Ballahack, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we played
I like
Ballahack a
Ballahack.
few times. Yeah,
we've been to Ballahack twice.
I went to Ballahack twice. Had a great
Twice.
time both
Yeah.
times. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
correct.
very well run field.
Correct. Yeah.
but
sure.
there is a category that was removed for not enough submissions, which is Best Airsoft Podcast.
Oof, I got a gripe with that.
Let's go. Let's go.
I get based on what?
I don't
mean,
know.
obviously, look. I mean, was there like 50 people probably watching this right now? So, like, if it's based on watch time, like, bam, bam.
Yeah, but they can't see your watch time.
Well, if it's based on like actual view count, bam, 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 yeah,
Sure.
like, we fucking suck at that. But I feel like our
Sure.
production quality is pretty good.
If it's
Yeah.
based on how many shorts we make from each episode,
There's
Hey.
3 per episode.
we need more. We
Okay.
need more shorts.
Quality
Well,
content.
this one has
We need a lot of
enough.
shorts.
yeah, we got so many
This
Jojo
one-
takes here.
Yeah,
Sure.
I have the shorts.
because sometimes
I feel like we have a strong presence in the Airsoft podcast.
We
community.
do.
feel
I
like we
think
do,
so.
man.
I mean, we're on episode
13.
13.
Yeah, son.
Right? Like,
Who does 13 episodes a year?
right.
Everyone.
A lot of podcasts. So
Yeah, but
getting
Joe
into the
Rogan.
weeds- getting in the weeds on podcasts, like consistency is like the biggest thing, but also on top of that is keeping it entertaining, which I feel like we keep it entertaining.
You know what we didn't
We
do?
try.
So for the next podcast, I know we have New Zealand guys coming up next, but after that, we need to be like, hey, like we missed out on this podcast awards thing. What do you want to hear? Like
Yeah.
we will talk about no holds barred.
Ooh.
Anything you want to know about.
Ooh.
Well, I also
Sure.
think I've said
Oof.
it once before.
Sure.
I think we do an entire Q&A episode where for 2 weeks I just post like once every
Yeah.
day or once every other day.
Just get. That's
Hey,
all
we're
we
going to
is
do a
answer
Q&A
questions.
episode.
Yeah.
Ask us your questions.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be about a specific event. It could be
It
about
could be about anything.
Anything. Doesn't
I
matter.
I
Yeah.
think the podcast needs to have either like an ad slot or like a skit slot. I think we need to make fucking skits
Oh,
again.
I'm
So-
about
I
to
love
skip.
I love the
So
skit.
the
I
monthly
miss those monthly
yeah.
videos.
the monthly update skits.
You got
I
to look
freaking
forward to that every
fun.
single month. It's the one thing I look forward to.
The Zulu
In my
monthly
my
update.
lonely
But that was the
depressing-
problem with those monthly updates is people were just watching them for the skits.
The
Bro, they were
problem,
great.
the real problem was that Dave thought that the only way he could make a funny skit is if he fucking falls from like the 6 feet tall height or something. Like he always has to fall from somewhere when he snaps his fucking fingers. And he's like, my back
That was
hurts. I
one of my
can't do
favorite
any more skits.
So good. They
You
were
don't have
good.
to.
They
You
were
don't have to
good.
get hurt.
No, we just make skits.
No, the real
Big Dave's Airsoft Emporium.
by
Milsim.
far- by far the best one. Like totally underrated. I don't think a lot of people watch that one. The Airsoft Emporium one is my favorite by far. Like it just fucking works so well. The issue with the monthly updates was we did that for 2 years
Yes.
and it never gained any traction, dude. Just never. And I'm not trying to be internet famous, but what I am trying to do is spread the word of Zulu, right? Like that's a whole
course.
that is the
Of
whole point
course,
of social
right.
media,
Yeah.
including this podcast, is to grow our business, right? That is 100%, 1,000%. And actually, anybody who says otherwise is lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point. Like anybody with a business associated does social media because you have to this day and age, right?
Correct.
And it just wasn't doing that.
Even down to product placement.
Right?
Right. Just saying. Right.
Right.
Yeah. 100%.
Everything is thoughtful.
In fact, some of the monthly updates were counterintuitive. So like when you were trying to explain the whole multicam thing,
Christ.
like it was like, look, you can wear multicam at
There's still
Zulu.
people
It's
to
just
this
for
day.
this green and tan event,
Yeah.
just no multicam for this event. And
Yeah.
literally on that video, it'll be like, so multicam's banned?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's
it's
when you're
like
just like,
Clearly.
yes.
That's what I mean.
It's like, why are you even doing
For
a monthly
your-
update?
yes.
It got
point.
it got tiresome. The monthly update, the body of it wasn't tiresome. I mean, we would film in the beginning. It took us like 6 hours to film an episode. At the end, it was like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I
could
it
run
took
through it
longer
50
to
minutes.
set up the lights and the green screen.
Yeah, like I got more comfortable on camera, and I also had the intro and all that stuff because we didn't have just like an intro that we filmed and then placed in. It was like every episode
was a new.
was a new intro.
Correct. Yeah.
And then the skits, like
We started spending more time on the skits than anything else.
yeah, not only that, but coming up with the ideas for the skits and the skits that I have still in my back pocket would require like a week of setup, 3 days of shooting, a couple days of editing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it just got tiresome.
It gets the people going.
Did you?
I know, but it just gets it.
Yeah,
like that's not what I set out to do. What I set out to do was instead of posting on Facebook that nobody reads, hey, here's the ops schedule. Somebody will watch a 9-minute video long before they'll read one paragraph, and so that was the whole purpose of it. And then the skits just became a thing. I'm not saying we're not going to do skits again. I'm just saying it got after 2 years, it got really like by the end of the second year, I was just tapped out, like creatively.
Writer's block.
No,
No,
I had a bunch of ideas. I still have a bunch of ideas.
Yeah.
It's just doing it.
Was there a certain level of pressure involved? Like, obviously, those who watched the videos really liked them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, like, you feel like you have to keep outdoing yourself. Like,
No,
did that play? No. Okay.
no, I'm not a big peer pressure guy. Like I don't. If I don't want to do something, I won't.
Right.
It just got to the point where I didn't want to do it anymore. Like it's not having the effect I want. It's not having the retention I want. And they were getting to the point where, because I used to be able to come up like Thursday, I'd come up with an idea, we'd shoot Friday.
Just improv, yeah.
Yeah. And it just got to the point where it was just like,
So my takeaway from this, if you like those videos, we got to like, comment, subscribe, and share those videos.
Sure. 100%.
Well,
Because
the
I
other
want
thing-
them back.
Well, the other
Yeah.
thing there too is it turned into a series, and a lot of people came back for that, but it wasn't very engaging. And I've learned now a lot of it boils down to also what you title and what you use as your thumbnail.
Right.
oh,
Because
huge.
just
That's huge.
titling
Clickbait.
the video like every month the Zulu 24 monthly update, no one's going to click on that.
Yeah. Right.
If we had changed the title to something like
Airsoft.
drama.
Airsoft
Not even
cheater
that.
gets
Like,
wrecked in a headshot.
I have to start
Yeah.
asking the questions in my own head of like, if we had renamed that monthly update Big Dave's Airsoft Emporium, how many people would have
Oh
clicked
my
on
God,
it just
yeah.
for that?
Wait,
Dude,
what the hell does
Sure.
this mean?
Yeah.
I still,
Yeah, what
dude,
is
I
that?
still
Correct.
think
Okay.
The night before Christmas.
dude, if we
No, the Christmas
if
chewing
we
gum.
uploaded just that intro, Dave's Airsoft Emporium, right now, it would get more views than the monthly update that it was part of.
I think you should just take
Do
the
it,
skits. And
Why not?
just
Let's do it.
Yeah, just try
Re-upload
it.
just the skits and make a playlist.
Listen, if I didn't have to go back and find those videos,
Yeah.
I would
Oh, yeah,
watch them
'cause they've
again.
kind of
Whose,
been
I,
buried.
Yeah.
whose
Bruh.
idea was it? A skill-based matchmaking skit.
That was
for
Dom and
Airsoft.
I.
Yeah.
That was Dom
Yeah.
and I.
Oh, dude, I still
Like
have Milsim Ferry is in my back pocket still.
A skit for like, man.
Please.
Well, the other thing
Please
too
give
is
it a
that
try.
in the last 2 years, we've seen the evolution of YouTube into shorts and reels, and much like on Instagram.
Oh yeah,
If we
TikTok.
uploaded those as reels, they would get an exponentially higher amount
Oh,
of
sure.
views just because people doom scroll through YouTube and Instagram now looking at shorts.
And
Well, and
Facebook, apparently.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Facebook
apparently.
has
Doom scroll.
Shorts.
So
That's
anything I upload to Instagram as a reel on the Zulu account automatically gets posted to the Zulu Facebook page as a reel because Instagram is owned by Facebook, so they've implemented the reel section on Facebook.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
But you will see a higher percentage of older individuals on Facebook, which is why the comment section is usually way more funny when it gets pushed out because it's like all of the like boomers commenting like, "Not back in my day, this is not Milsim."
Oh, speaking of boomers, okay, so Nico Ortiz
Airsoft.
Hashtag Nico Ortiz.
This guy.
Here
I'm
we
not a
go.
fan of your material, but a lot of people are, so I'm not gonna knock you for it. But man, give us credit in your fucking videos, bro.
Right? If we're gonna be in your videos,
You've
right?
literally
Yeah.
used 2 of our
Yeah.
videos, man. You used
Yeah.
Airsoft Fights and Freakouts, and also the Airsoft Mortar.
Yeah,
and actually,
just start putting the
he
watermark.
creamed a little bit in his pants about the mortar. Like, give us a little bit, man. Give us something.
Yeah.
Throw
you know?
a
Do you know what else
Come
I think?
play
Come check us
Fire,
out
man.
at Zulu 24.
I think
Something.
I think you guys should also work on other types of content for just airsofters in general.
Well,
like
we
so hear me out. I had this idea a while ago.
Is this the game brief video?
The game brief videos.
Yeah.
You make a video explaining the rules of like just certain games that you guys run every weekend.
Yeah, but is that a little bit of the magic sauce that you don't want to like put out there?
No, I think
yeah,
like
because
you're
other
like,
people
look,
could copy
I think
and
we're
paste.
like,
that.
yeah,
kind
what
of
if you
on
wanna
the
mix
same
up a game a
page,
little
'cause
bit?
I
a
was
game
thinking
brief
about it.
video of Full Field Conquest, and it's obviously in the context of Zulu, but airsofters looking into it might be like, oh, like they'll have a better idea of what the game modes are like. How many people ask questions like, so is it like all day? Are they on the
Yeah,
field?
we get
Do
that
they
question.
some
Oh, sure.
lunch or
Well, the
you
other
know.
thing too, I think we bring the PSA series back,
Yeah, PSAs were good actually.
but I think we do it in a format of just like we're in the staging area at Zulu, walking around talking about it.
Yeah.
You know what else I think will happen if you make videos about
Yeah, you're
like
not
game
writing that
briefs?
down. You got to write that down, Papa.
No, Austin didn't say it.
I just repeated everything he said. No,
Yeah.
That was
So
good.
like if you were to post a video like ShamWow helicopter and you make it kind of cinematic, you like have the camera circle around the helicopter, like this is the helicopter. You have to be in the objective. You don't make it like informative and
That sounds
boring
like a
like
drone shot.
like the safety brief.
Yeah.
But you make it like a fucking Bear Grylls thing. Like this is the objective. You got to get in the helicopter. There's a box in there with
Like
the
the Call of
spiders, and
Duty
they're
game brief.
they're packed filled with vitamins, and you
You
got to
gotta-
eat them, or whatever. Hold the timer for 5 minutes, or whatever. And like, I think people might engage more with that. Be like, oh my god, that looks so fun. Or some people might be like, why don't you have them hold it for this amount of time? Or people might have suggestions.
So we get some
for it.
feedback.
I'm almost
Okay,
inclined to agree with him just
Okay.
because seeing the amount of feedback we got from posting the map.
Oh, that
Yeah.
map was great.
Yeah, Jordan was like, "Hey,
That's a
should I
great
post?
idea.
Should I post some map stuff?" And I was doing something else like an hour later. I was like,
And,
"Yeah, sure."
and
whatever."
like on the website, just have a section that's like about the games that you run for open play games. And it's just like it's almost like a menu at a restaurant. Like, what's your product? Are you selling burgers or are you selling an experience? Well,
So
here's the
great
different
time.
experiences.
I will say it's a benefit to airsoft as a whole too. I don't want to shit on other fields, but I've played at other fields. Another tag to recommended best field, but so these other fields, right? They play their games, right? And they play games that are similar, some that are different, some that aren't similar at all. It can help those fields do better, which is a benefit to the entirety of
Sure.
airsoft as a whole.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of fields that I wouldn't say are up to par at the same level as Zulu that could use help.
Dude, same. So when that mortar video came out, and Nico Ortiz stole it from us, didn't give us any credit. Dude, I got like 10 emails from different. I mean, I'm talking like Iowa, Illinois, like all these. Yo, how did you do that? And I explained it to them, like, hey, like, well, at first they were like, build one for me. I'll pay you money. I was like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I run an airsoft field. I don't manufacture shit.
Not
you know?
manufacturing.
And-
right,
and
right,
also-
we're not doing that.
Let me show you how easy this is, especially in a free state like fucking Illinois or Iowa. And they were all like, "Oh my god, like that's so awesome! Thank you so much." And I think that's it's beneficial. I also think people are scared to kind of like. I think airsoft fields with insurance. I won't comment on the ones without insurance. Are a little hesitant to kind of push the boundaries a little bit.
Right.
And I'm not saying you should just recklessly push the boundaries, but I feel like at Zulu we push the boundaries within guidelines
Right.
to kind of push everything forward. And so like it's kind of funny, and I say this kind of half-heartedly, like the mortar is the most legal thing we've done there. like honestly, like
We had pyro on a
yeah, man. I mean, we
Yeah.
got the cops calling us and all
Yeah.
that stuff, but
yeah.
Airsoft redacted.
we
That and that.
we can bleep that part.
redacted.
We
that's
can
why.
redact that part.
That's why we don't have Benghazi at Zulu anymore.
Yeah, you
Benghazi,
know, like
Benghazi.
we've pushed the boundaries within safe limits. And actually, when that happened, it wasn't us that caused that issue. It was
Right.
an inexperienced police officer that caused that issue. And thank God nobody got hurt. But I think more people need to. I think more insured airsoft fields need to kind of push their boundaries a little bit and kind of think outside the box, because there's a lot of good places with good intention that just aren't run well or aren't insured, or they run it from a perspective of being a player, and you can't do that. It's like some random player's just like, I'm going to start an airsoft field, and the chrono limits are going to be 500, and you know what I mean? Because nobody will cheat if it's 500. And you're like,
He'll learn quick.
A, they will. B, nobody's going to play there because it's fucking.
Yeah.
I think you make a good point though about you make a good point though about innovating and trying new things. There's a reason, weird flex. There's a reason I drive an hour and 40 minutes one way.
I appreciate
to
that.
play at this field.
I appreciate that.
Sweet.
Like
100%.
like game brief content. Like every time you build something, make a fucking time lapse of the construction, like primitive survival.
Oh, I've said that before. I've said
but
that.
Don't make it obvious that you're using any power tools. Make it look like you're just doing it.
No,
those
he's
videos-
hammering a BB into the wood.
Yeah, let's go.
PSAs, skits. Like the skits, obviously awesome. But
Sure.
another cool one, like player tips. Make a whole video how to not get overshot.
Yo, how is it? Okay. Well,
Hey guys,
I
so
feel
out
like that's a
your dead
PSA.
rag.
So to me,
use it.
that's a PSA. Yeah, and it's as simple as that, right?
yeah, this is how you use your dead rag so you don't get overshot.
I know.
Make
But,
it visible.
so here's the thing. Like, I might be too tainted as I'm going to use this loosely, experienced airsoft player, right? Is that shit to me is common sense. How do you not get overshot? You pull out your dead rag and you fucking, if you're in the middle, you move.
Also, call your hit the first time.
Guys,
Ooh, that's a
guys,
big one.
what do you do when you get shot with a BB? You call your
Hit.
and pull out your
Dead rag.
all the time.
And a dead rag is only as visible as you make it, so hold it
What's
up
a
high.
dead rag?
Yeah. Don't tuck it in the front and then
Don't put it in
complain
your
that you got
mouth.
shot in the back.
Yeah, don't put it in your mouth so it's held in by
Right.
your teeth and
Yeah.
then complain you got shot in the back.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if we make videos like that, I'm gonna be sarcastic because
And snarky.
You almost have to. Yeah.
to me it's like
I think there's nothing
It's
wrong.
an obvious
Look,
for
there's
us. It's
but
an
there's
obvious for
but
us,
there's
right?
humor in that. And
but it's
To
so
a
cringy,
degree.
dude.
look, I
Being the
think
jaded airsofter.
you know what's funny about
Maybe we'll call it the cringe airsoft series, just so that everybody knows that like
Not even.
I don't think this shouldn't be necessary. There should be a minimum level IQ when
Common
you're
sense.
shooting guns.
It
at
should
each
be
other,
above room temperature.
which sometimes that isn't the case. Actually, a lot of times isn't the case.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and so like, how to not get overshot, and then I just go
Hit
and
dead rag.
and it says fin, like fin.
Fin.
you know.
I think there's humor in that, and I think the light bullying is cool too, because there's certain things that you see newer players do correctly because of that light bullying, and we obviously see a lot of new players like mags and guns not following basic gun safety rules, but like you tend to overlook the kids that are not breaking those safety rules. Like how the hell did they know? Like if you go on the internet. If you see a kid shooting an airsoft gun in his backyard with his iPro, people in the comments like, "God, beat fucking iPro, kid, yada yada yada."
Right.
There's some like get with the program. It's like if you see everybody else kind of getting with that program, and you see everybody's attitude towards this thing, like how you call your hits,
Dude,
and
I
not
will
get
s-
overshot. Like you're like, oh well, this seems to be the common sense.
I will say this. I've played at other fields. Man, pat on our own backs here, right? We have an excellent player base.
That's what I was about to say. Is like half the time you get overshot, and the guy's like, "Dude, sorry, man."
Yeah.
Like,
We have an excellent player base. Like, oh my God. Like, when's the last time you heard somebody yell, call your hit?
Yeah, right, sure, right. It's been a while.
summer,
And if you did,
summer heat.
and if
Summer
you
heat.
did,
yeah, sure. Right.
if you did, was it one guy or was it the whole field?
No,
That's
it's
always
just
that
one
one guy.
character.
It's
One
getting
guy.
it's
Yeah.
getting to the point now where when I hear that, like I see some of the people around me just like, "Oh, this fucking guy's just
Yeah.
yelling,
And
"Call your hit."
everyone
right.
does that. They're all like,
Well, how many times have like we harped on it, and they come to Zulu, and like the experienced players there, the people that know it where every twig is, their attitude towards it very openly is like, "Don't yell, call your hits. It's forbidden. It's taboo."
It's the cringiest
It's
thing
yeah,
to
it's,
do.
it's
It
stupid.
is
You know,
cringy.
there's
But
like
You don't see that BB after 30 feet away from you. You're not seeing it.
there's
Well,
like a
and then-
collective unconscious element to
Yeah, but-
every culture
But I'm
and
saying
what's
that,
acceptable.
and this is so cringy for me to say this, like, pat on our backs. Ugh.
Again,
Yeah, because I've played at other fields and I've played at other events, and it is the stark opposite, and it's allowed and it continues. I mean, there's like businesses that have made T-shirts that are like, call your hits because you got hit with this certain kind of BB or whatever the fuck. Like they're embracing it as some type of like positive thing, and it's
Creates a
It's just as bad as those
It's
airsoft cheater
toxic.
videos.
Yeah.
Why are
it's
you
the
like?
same level.
Correct.
It's such a minority. Like, I mean, at least at Zulu, it rarely ever happens. I mean, I get other fields, but
Yeah.
like you're literally taking one incident. The last time I can remember happened in June. Like it was super hot day, right? Somebody got heated. Look, it's whatever. That was almost half a year ago.
yeah.
Like, why are we highlighting that? You know
Well,
what I mean?
to be completely honest, because we brought it up and Zulu's not perfect. Like a month ago, I was reffing and we had that problem. Like,
Yeah.
it was.
Okay.
I remember talking to you about it. I was like, it's bad today. Like there were multiple people yelling it out, like call your hits, call your fucking hits, like whole nine. And I had to stop. Literally, we ended the game. We brought everybody back down, and I like stood up on the safety brief and did my normal thing. I was like, can anybody see what's in my fingers? And I'm holding one BB.
Right.
And a bunch of people in the back are like, no, what is that? I'm like, it's BB. Like,
That's
if
the
you
point.
can't see it in my fingers right now, how are you seeing it at 200 feet
Yeah.
bouncing off that guy?
Yeah.
Like, you are
Right.
shooting a paper clip weight. Like,
Dude,
not
I
even.
think like going back. Yeah. No, but I know I hit him. I got a zoom cam that I'm not looking through, but I can process
Yeah.
later.
Sure.
Like Kid Mustang. Yeah, whatever.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I think that's a video, a PSA that we should do.
the BB in the fingers?
No. Have somebody stand 100 feet, 200 feet, whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
and just shoot at it, and then have the run cam on the gun,
So you can
and then be
see.
like,
Oh,
do you think that hit or not? And then have a
there are
separate,
people that
Do a
this.
freeze frame, like
Yeah.
at 0.2 seconds,
boom,
a fifth of a second. You already can't see it.
did that hit?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
the most
people that
humbling
do
thing.
this.
The
this
most
style of
humbling thing
video.
is playing a night game with tracers.
Yeah.
Oh,
You-
yeah, they go
you
all
can
over.
see,
Yeah.
you
You
can
have
see so
zero.
clearly how easily that BB will deflect off of
Deflect,
anything.
twig.
Yeah.
It hits a
Blade of
twig, and all of a
grass.
sudden it has a second hop up, and it's just
Oh,
Yeah.
it's back
It's just a
again
moon.
somewhere
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
100%. Right.
But that's
Like
the
you,
thing,
you
too,
shot
like-
5 rounds and one went.
It's
near-
like,
went
dude,
near
like
them.
I believe that your gun is reaching, but your BB hit something else before the target, and
100%.
now it has a different trajectory.
I just
Yeah.
played today, all right? And there was a situation where I was shooting through the woods, small section of woods. There's a bush though.
Yeah.
And most people who know my gun, I can feather the gun if I want to. I must have taken 20 shots at this guy. He's only 150 feet away. Not a single one hit him.
Yeah.
20 shots.
Yeah.
Now, maybe I'm a terrible shot. But
Maybe the
I
guy
mean, they
that
were
maybe the guy
ricocheting
that built your
all
gun
over.
fucking sucks.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
0.50
But I'm just saying,
gram
like
BBs.
like
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
PSA
no, that'd be good.
demonstrating that on the common areas of Zulu
Yeah.
would open people's eyes.
That'd be
Because
cool.
there are people already that take like those like kicking Mustang and Novrich videos and break them down, and they're like, this missed,
This
and
missed,
he's
yeah.
Oh, and you
Yeah.
can
and
see
you
it.
can see it missed, but he
Oh,
put
yeah.
the hash mark.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There are people that do that style of video, but for an informative standpoint, that would be great.
So that would be the video, right? Somebody takes a shot, we put the hash mark in, and it's like, do you think that hit?
Yeah.
And then be like, no, it actually fucking.
What do we
went
think
Right.
the
Just 'cause you
percentage?
saw or heard the mark
I bet you
doesn't mean-
the average player, if they're being honest with themselves, gets less than a 30%.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I get less than 30. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the woods, if I see somebody, I'm shooting 5
Always. Yeah.
on the
Minimum.
first burst
Minimum 5.
because
to,
I know
to maybe one get through.
maybe.
Correct.
Maybe. I'm doing that just to get their heads down so that I can maneuver, right?
Yeah.
So that I can get into a situation where I can get close enough to guarantee that hit.
Sure.
Guarantee in my own mind. It's not guaranteed in real life. It's just
Right.
guaranteed in my own mind.
Right.
I mean,
I think you guys should make more content overall, and I would gladly help.
well, but here's the thing. Here's the
You
thing.
know,
What is Zulu 24?
in airsoft.
Airsoft.
That's it.
Airsoft.
Our
Milson
business is
Tactical
airsoft.
Park, yeah.
So every minute that I'm not making our airsoft better, in my opinion, is a wasted minute. Are we a company that makes social media?
Now we make airsoft.
No, we
That's
make
what we do.
airsoft. So,
We play airsoft. Yeah.
so I understand the need for social media in terms of like advertising, marketing, things like that.
Mhm.
But in actuality, our product is airsoft.
it
So
is.
so every day I should be making our airsoft better. What's the best form of advertising?
I would argue,
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
but I would
Right, yeah.
argue that this type of content
Sure.
would actually benefit the field and the player base.
It benefits
Say-
the field, but it doesn't make the airsoft better.
I think it does.
It displays our current
because
airsoft.
I think it'll help weed out some obvious character traits in some players.
Sure.
And I don't mean, I'm not calling out specific players. I mean traits that are kind of like
ubiquitous to airsoft.
They're ubiquitous to airsoffs, and they're kind of like spirits that one might adopt at certain times.
Sure.
Like the
what?
call your
Like
hit
what?
spirit.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
it
the
also
call, like
The
I
hit
just
shrugger.
I de-hopped my Angel custom barrel, so I know it's shooting 500 feet. My KWA SR10 with a 700 millimeter aluminum Mad Bull barrel
Sure,
can
right,
hit church
yeah.
from Connex.
Right.
You know, so like there's certain like
I love that meme.
there's like certain like dogmas. There's certain like
But also,
there's like archetypes that come out, and I think that like weeding it out with some content
Especially
and
consumer.
just addressing it, like you have to talk about it.
well, the other thing too is
You have
from
to
a
look at
social
the
media,
problem.
from a social media standpoint too, like other airsoft fields, and I'm going to bring them up because it's true. Ballahack, they do make airsoft content on their field, and we do that already.
Sure.
We do the reels, we do the gameplay videos, we do all the photos. But Chris from Ballahack does go out and make
He's
gameplay.
a persona.
He's
Yeah.
a persona. He's
He is a
established
persona.
himself as a
Yeah.
persona, like
Yeah.
the fucking billboard, who is Swamp Sniper. Like
Yeah.
we've all seen the photo of
Yeah.
it. That works because then it's driving people to the field,
Yeah.
which then gives you more reason to make the airsoft better. So the
Ugh,
content,
I don't want to be a.
I know,
airsoft
but
celebrity.
it-
there's-
Jojo, you want to be an airsoft
I was going to say, just
celebrity?
pick somebody.
You
I
have
don't fucking be
you have every single reason to justify why it's not worth it.
It's just not
For
me.
the core purpose of your business when there's nothing established yet. But like content like that, it's not like you're going to make a video, get 1 million views, and it's like, oh, I guess there's this
it's also
other ad
putting a
revenue.
good
It's like,
face to the airsoft community.
it's
but I feel
good
like
for
it's-
the community.
It's easier to create a persona than it is to create a business persona.
You don't need to make a persona.
Yeah, you do.
I don't think you do.
I mean,
Name the top 3 airsoft YouTubers right now.
Mm-hmm.
how many people are replicating that and getting nowhere?
Oh, 1 billion, but that's true of all of
Yeah, that's
YouTube.
true.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So
look, you got
Right.
Swamp Sniper, Novrich, Dutch the Hooligan,
Alphonse.
Alphonse. Who are those? Those are individuals. You know what I mean?
Cam Man.
Airsoft Cam Man,
Good video.
Kicking Mustang,
The Hoonigan.
Scout the Doggy, early one, right?
Scout
Like,
the
that's
Dog,
a freaking
man.
early one.
Oh, Jet.
Yeah, but his wasn't even
Jet.
making
Jet
a
the
persona.
Fox,
His was
right.
just making gameplay videos.
Sure, but it was from his point of view.
Yeah.
Right.
And they all have their personality, which
Yeah.
in turn
Sure.
is a persona.
Yeah, right. So all these people are individuals first. So I think it's a lot harder to create media for a business as opposed to a relatable person.
Yeah.
So that's why I nominate Jojo to be the next. Airsoft.
So, like,
I like that.
Full disclaimer:
We'll
if you
call
were
it
to watch
Ghost.
me on Airsoft, like, I play to survive. So
Yeah.
I'm not even out there getting 50.
My
kills.
favorite kind of player.
I'll,
the one
I'll
KD,
show you
or the
5
one death
people
player.
walking by.
Yeah, but I'm not
like,
even
you know.
I'm not even talking about it from that perspective. Like that was just an example because Swamp Sniper does that very well.
Yeah.
I'm talking about from a business standpoint. Like these videos help because it puts it's like a stark contrast to the cheaters and the fights and
Sure.
cookout videos.
Sure.
If we're out there making
Positive.
entertaining, funny, positive content for the airsoft community and kind of setting that, like how many times do we tell customers in a shop when they come in and it's an adult with their child and we're like, that stuff you watch on YouTube, that doesn't
That's
happen
not-
here.
Yeah, it's not
That doesn't
relatable.
happen here because
Yeah.
we don't let it.
Correct.
You're putting not just a persona and a face, but you're putting a personality to an entire business.
Sure.
Wholesome.
I think we should make a whole video reel of just some Jojo getting hit and saying, "Nice shot, buddy." You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's the whole video. It's a 30-minute long reel of Jojo getting shot, going, "Nice hit, brother, hit." You know, and pulling Degger out.
Can we
like,
get Rich
like
Moore
wholesome
that
content.
would be the best.
I've
We have
been,
the right person for that, but he doesn't play anymore.
I've been shot and
could
been
fix that.
paraded off the field. Remember that? like they won a trophy, and I was just like, "Good for you, man!" Like, cool.
Yeah, that
You
happens
know?
now. Players get
Yeah.
excited when they shoot refs.
Yeah,
That's it, baby.
yeah.
They're like, I got that ref.
Refs that aren't refing at the time. That
Yeah,
it's-
like refs that are playing.
Refs that
Hey,
are
some
playing.
people like
Yeah.
shooting.
Yeah.
Dude, I shoot the refs
With
all the
refs.
time.
Hey, wholesome content in Airsoft though is great. Like, who's the House Gamers Airsoft? Who's that guy who like animates his gun, like talks from the point of view of his gun? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
So there's this guy on House Gamers
Ooh, I
Airsoft.
like that.
Great Airsoft videos. He has conversations with his gun
Oh, okay.
while he's playing the game.
Good for him.
And like he'll put a smiley face.
I
on
think
his
it's
gun.
called schizophrenia, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, so
Deep.
he runs a sniper rifle very similar to mine.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of it. The inspiration came from that. And those videos are like, you get done watching that video and you're like, that was awesome. Like that's the kind of Airsoft player I want to play with.
Yeah.
So I those wholesome videos are awesome. And Jojo would be perfect.
I think there could be like
Use the face.
Yeah.
Put some oil on his feet so that you don't.
Ooh,
Bro, there's
let's
a
go.
reason-
OnlyFans. Let's
No.
go.
Yeah, there's a reason why every safety brief, like from a player's point of view, we're always like, I hope Jojo's doing it. No shame to all you other refs, but
I can't pick favorites. I love all my children.
I can.
So like,
Props to being a player.
when I was reffing, I was banned from giving
Yes.
safety briefs.
Yes, you
And
were.
game
Thank
briefs.
God you were.
Yeah.
You're
on
most
tangent.
confusing game
It,
briefs
dude,
ever.
it's all written down.
It's the ADD.
Bro, as a player who's
Also,
played like
disclaimer, I've been doing this since 2012. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Again, I'm old.
The first time I ever played at Zulu when I was like 13 or 14, Jojo chronoed me. He had like long hair. He was like, "Hey, what up, baby?
when I had
So what up, baby?"
what it do, baby?
I think it's impressive. I've listened to the ShamWow game description 100 times. When Anthony gives the game description for ShamWow, I'm confused.
You're confused. Dude. Yeah, there was a hard.
Somehow you make an easy game confusing.
There's
Sorry,
some others
Anthony.
too that I'm like, yeah, got to work on that.
It's all
you
in
know?
my brain.
Oh man.
It's been rinse, wash, repeat for a couple of years. You know.
Hey,
Oh,
hashtag
yeah,
2023.
I'm surprised you're not
Jojo.
tired and done with it. Actually,
No, it's still fun.
I love my job. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it's
love
still
our
fun.
jobs. Yeah,
We had
Yeah.
this conversation when we
Yeah.
opened the shop because
100%.
one of our business partners was like, "You guys are going to stop reffing," and Jojo and I looked and
Yeah.
we're like, "Absolutely
One
not."
of our business partners
Yes.
said you should quit doing what you do.
That
We're
you
like,
might want to
absolutely.
cut that out.
Well, no, that's a serious conversation we
Yeah.
had. And we're like,
she brought that up, and I was like, I'm burning down the snack bar.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no,
Goodbye.
I straight up
No,
said
no,
I
no.
was like, Jojo and I
You
cannot
were
stop
evicted.
reffing, and we cannot stop playing because from a business standpoint, we need to have a pulse on the player base.
Oh,
and to have a
definitely.
pulse
Well,
on the
it's
player
the
base.
Yeah.
opposite of the drug game. You have to get high on your own supply because if you don't, then you don't know the quality.
That's
of it.
Yeah.
a great analogy.
Right.
Well, I'm
That
just
actually
saying.
is. Yeah,
Perfect,
like you have to
yeah.
know what's going on.
I still
out there.
play. Like I definitely go through ebbs and flows with airsoft,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I get burnt out just like the next guy.
Mhm.
But even during those low points, I still play because I want to make sure that the quality's still there.
Sure.
And that's important to me.
Sure.
The professionalism quality, right? Like that's important to me. And I think it's true of anybody. You have to play at your own field to understand flow points and like choke points and what
Yeah.
games work, what games don't, what spawns are good, what spawns are not. I mean, we have played every game you can possibly imagine at Zulu, and we know where the good spawns are.
Rinse,
You know what I
wash,
mean? There's a
repeat,
reason
correct,
why
yeah.
when we do ops, the spawns are where they are. Because I've played
Yeah.
that field every which way, and these are just the best ones, like for maneuverability, for players to not get spawn camp, that type of thing.
Would you agree that the more experienced player is better
Mm,
than the inexperienced player?
What do you mean by
In what
better?
way?
better.
Because I can tell you this.
player culture.
Well, there are some experienced players that should stop playing airsoft and start playing golf.
Yeah.
Because
Calm
they-
down a little bit.
because they think
Yeah.
they're SEAL Team 6 or whatever the fuck.
Correct. Correct.
And
We're,
they're not.
we're nerds. We're airsofting.
Like-
we're having fun.
Yeah,
Fun.
dude. Like
We're
costume
playing.
party. Like this is a
We're playing.
costume party.
Met a
But-
lot of cool rentals that
Yeah.
are like just having a great fucking time.
Sure.
and just like, I think it depends on the game, depends on the day, depends on, are you talking ops, open play? Like,
Right.
It depends on the ebb and flow. Like again, like I get burnt out from airsoft, so maybe somebody's coming down on that airsoft burnout, you know, and maybe they need to take a break. And I think a lot of people need to recognize, like, hey, it's time for me to take a break.
Mhm.
Like I'm getting heated over
Airsoft.
nothing,
Right.
over this costume
Right.
party. But anyway,
Right.
guys, it's been a long one. It's been a great one.
I had a great time.
I
This
feel
was
like it's time to wrap it. It's been like 3 hours
So,
almost.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
This is
man,
a
it's been
long
great.
one.
You guys might
Appreciate it.
become like
Yeah.
a thing, man. It's
Yeah.
great.
I'm down.
It was
Sure.
good to knock the rust off and kind of talk shop with everybody, and I appreciate you guys coming, guys.
Definitely.
To all our listeners, all our 100 listeners, spread the word. Send it to your grandma. Give it to her for a birthday present. She'll enjoy it. But with that, good night. God bless. We're out.